Testing the audio now. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, that should be good. Hmm. Let's get Cammy involved and let's start this thing. This is going to be this is probably a mistake. How is everyone doing anyway? Oh shit, that's what I need to do. There we go. Let's get Cammy involved and let's start. Okay, yeah, so you guys can hear me, right? Let's get it set up and we'll get going. Um, Cammy in the chat as well. Oh, there we go. Cammy, getting situated. Yo, I can't, no, can't hear you. I don't know. No, I can't hear you. No. What is this vaudeville? I can't hear you, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hang on. One sec, one sec, one sec. Can I hear you now? Can you hear me? Oh, sure. Can we? Oh,
Yo,
yo,
yo.
I can hear you.
Right. It was like I tell me I had to join like audio
Yeah, you have to join like
Wi-Fi.
computer audio or something. Yeah, I don't, but I can hear you, dude. It's all good.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. Just putting up, boom, the light's looking good because I've got a light because I'm professional as fuck. But
Dude, I got a light behind me as well, my guy. You know, we've all got lights out here. So shout out to Mav in the chat as well.
oh, fuck, what a guy he is.
But yeah, I guess we'll just sort of jump into it, dude. Pretty much. Like I want to do a quick intro,
Uh-huh.
and then like what we said before, maybe like 5 minutes of battler, but we can talk longer. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We'll
mean, we're
just
doing
break it
25,
down.
so we're not doing the full whack. So it's like, you know,
But this is probably the more controversial one. That's the problem.
Yeah, no. I've been thinking a lot about my picks, but I've got a little soapbox that I want to get on straight away, actually, just to
Oh, fuck.
yeah. So okay, this is recording. You can hear me. Looks like everyone's on stream as well. Let me just share this out, of course.
Get the finger pistols out. Bam, bam.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
I've got a fucking little written thing.
Dude, I got the same. I got the same, my guy. Like, yeah, of course.
At the point, if I kept on going back and changing things, then I'll never have a true one because I just went, right, I've written it down. That's it. Live and die by the sword.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. So
God.
sorry, man. I'm just
looking at it, it's a bit spooky, but
we gotta just fucking do it. So, and you can see me okay, you can hear me, everything good?
yeah, you're looking as handsome as ever.
Oh, thank you, dude. So yeah, so I'll just give you a preview now. What can you see here? Can you see the actual
I see a PowerPoint. I see a PowerPoint of an Excel spreadsheet.
you can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so it's basic as fuck, but it'll help us keep score basically. But we won't do that for just a sec. So
by the way, Jolly G, Cammy, you're looking great today. Oh man. Oh yeah, thank you, Tom. I really appreciate
no,
it.
the fits are always crazy, man, that you rock.
Guy.
No, you look sick, man. You look sick, my guy. And it's great to go into the breach together. So, let's fucking go. Shout out to all 10 in the chat right now, all 10 in the chat. So, and we'll check in with, let us know what you think of the picks as we go through. We'll offer that up. But,
oh, yeah.
All right. Are you ready to go, my guy?
Yeah, man. I've got the drinks are flowing. Got some coconut bay rum. I'm rocking Iron Man blanks because
shit, let's go.
Let's go. Because someone's about to see and they might die.
Oh my god. So also I'll go first, right? I'll do the first one.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah. But yeah, you ready, my guy?
I am ready.
All right. Hey everyone, it's Tom here. Battle Rap Resume, possibly one of our wildest episodes yet. I think we're gonna regret this forever. I think we're gonna, open Pandora's box here, and we're basically gonna be bluntly ranking 50 very fragile egos, and we're gonna be leaving about another 150 out. But I want to say up top, we're going through the top 50 UK BR battlers of all time. In my view, Battle Rap Resume's view, and Cammy's view. But I do want to say up top, this is a celebration of battle rap. Like, we are not doing this to deride anyone. Everyone on this list, I'm sure I can speak for Cammy here as well, are people that we admire deeply, people that we're huge fans of. And this is just this is an excuse really for two pals to chat about all these ranges of different battlers and, say how great they are. And I feel like I need to get that disclaimer out the way, Cammy, because I am nervous. I feel like this is almost, this is going to upset a lot of people, inevitably.
I know. I think with a task like this, Tom, this is an impossible task. When the floating the idea of this maybe at the start of the year, like kind of thinking, fucking, like, how do you actually make a right list? It's our list that we've done. Maybe once we set it, the date in to maybe a month or so, just kind of casually adding things in and being like, oh, what about this guy? What about this guy? Like, we'll never have the right list.
No.
And you've got the two people right now, like Tom, respectfully, you could have got Jen, Plug, pick your battles, Dan.
Anyone. Yeah. Anyone.
You could have got anyone, and they'll give you a better list than me, but you've got me, you're stuck with me.
There's no, there is no right list. And the problem is, we're all biased. Like, our biases are going to show throughout our list. I think as we get closer to the number one spot, I think the top 20 will probably have the same 20 in different order. It'll probably be that sort of swag.
I would like to believe.
Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope so. Maybe you'll have Afghan Dan at number 3 or something. I don't know. But like,
that's a reference. That's a reference.
Yeah. So we are splitting it up as well. So we are doing this. If you watch this in the future, we're doing this back-to-back nights live. So we're doing the top 50, but we're doing the first 25, so 50 to 26 today, and then down to 25 to 1. But just before we get into the battlers, I do want to invoke a dear friend of both of ours, Mr. Tony Bro. who
Mhm.
is an idol of mine, a hero, and I mean that unironically. Like I mean, like he's just he's a great dude altogether, and he's a legend in this battle rap community. And he's been on Champion, and he's whatever, and judged and Ultimate Madness and that sort of stuff. And he often releases lists, his champion list, his top 10 list or whatever. And people do often get at him on Twitter as they want to do, like, Tone, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to, from hereafter, invoke the Tony Bro rule, which if you get really pissed off with both of us and just hate us and just think we're wrong, every single one is wrong, bring your 50. Like, I have no interest if you're like, oh no, he shouldn't be at number 27. It's like, unless I see you 50. So battleresume@gmail.com, get in touch with me there, Twitter as well. Let us know you're 50, because as Cammy so rightly said, there is no right list. I am so interested to see everyone else's top 50. Like that this is what this is about. There is no perfect way of doing this. And I'm sure we're going to piss people off and we're going to surprise people. And people are like, oh, he's number 10, or whatever. But yeah, this is what we're trying to do. This is the ultimate reason we're doing this, is to just encourage fans to appreciate how amazing this thing is and to look back and be like, no, he's better than him, or I like her, or whatever. Let us know. Cam, let us know.
And you know what? We might have something quite wrong. It might be somewhere in odd places. We might have forgotten something, but make a list.
Make a list. Make a 50.
Like, I will laugh, react at funny comments on how dumb I am, or how Tom has like random battlers from 2005 WRC times in this list, and we'll laugh at it. But I need to see your list. The credentials. It's kind of the bouncer getting into the club. I need to check your ID first. Who's your birthday before you?
Yeah. I think it's just, this needed to be done in a certain way. And like we've mentioned Champion before, and there's been these, the US scene has these kind of ways of appreciating the history and stuff. But so that's enough of us kind of pre-apologizing for whatever. But just before we get into it, and the way we're going to do it but we're basically going to go, as I say, we're doing our first 25. So I'm going to do my 50, Cam will do his 50, my 49, and we'll just sort of riff on them and just sort of, we'll have a little bit of a reminisce or whatever. And if the other person has a battler, then we'll sort, you don't need to say if they're there or not. It's not really a matter of secrecy. But so what I just want to establish, sorry, I dropped my pencil here. What I just wanted to establish, Cammy, just quickly in brief, we did discuss before that we do have a sort of criteria. It's maybe a loose set of ingredients. It's not this really strict thing, but it's kind of the certain tenets that we have in mind when ranking these battlers. And what are they? What do you see them as?
So I would see them as kind of the point of which our concept of battle rap begins. So what we enjoy now in 2024, 2023, what we enjoy now, the concept of it, the a cappella style. Like I will count on beats because there was leagues that did on beats and they had impact. But I think the idea of where battle rap is now, who was influential in it, like who's the big guys in it, who made a particular style hot for a while, who was an innovator, who had the style that other people bit. There's a lot of things we consider. Who had the most views, who translated the views into something powerful, who put battle rap on spots and all these different areas.
Who's the most fun to watch? Like, who's the best writer? Who's the funniest? Like, there's certain things. There's certain guys who are way more influential and pull a lot bigger levers. But then there's guys you're like, oh my God, I just love his style. And I've watched his battles for 10 years. And, so.
Who wins the most?
Who's the champs? And just it's
so hard to say exactly what makes all the lists. But when you see, as we see it breaking down, I hope you see that. Well, the people see that there is a reason behind it. That I think the win of this, if people can find the justification for most of these, I think it's a win. if it can be justified in some sort of way, I think we're winning. But it's because for me, and he's not on the list, so I'll throw this one out here because I did speak to Tom about this one before. I wanted personally, I have a bias for when I first started watching battle rap in general. It was through Professor Green, but I had to make that decision myself. The Professor Green was just a little bit before, so on my list at least, he's just a little before the time of actual battle rap as we know it. So I had to take him off my list. So that's like an example of someone that maybe pushes it too far. Maybe it's in the dump, kind of, just maybe, depending if Tom has him on the list. But Like that was where my criteria was the normal state of battle rap, and I've had to Lord of the Mics as well. I love Lord of the Mics. There's a little bit there, but we can't. The concept that we have when we say battle rap and what we connect to is mostly where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
As for my list anyway, Tom can say otherwise.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably best if we get into it, and as we go through the battlers, we can just get into certain elements, because I think my first pick, this is my 50th.
Oh, here we go.
My 50th best battler, mine, battle rap resumes. And this is a facet that we didn't really touch upon there, but I think it's important just for me as a battle rap fan, what I appreciate in battle rap, how this person may have contributed to the mythology of the league, the kind of the history of the league, the legacy of the league, and someone that has, quite frankly, in the context of battle rap, of Don't Flop, iconic status, someone who was an anarchist, but who had 11 battles in 2011, who helped kind of form the foundation of the whole expression. Mickey Worthless.
Shut the fuck up.
Is my 50th.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. They're going to think this is fucking rigged. He's my 50th as well. He's my 50th.
He's a good 50. I think he's a good 50. Yeah. I think he's a good 50. So that's, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, let's get the ranking up, but yeah, fuck.
He's my 50th as well. The anarchy, the editing on the King of the Ronalds.
Oh my god, Pigman Dan as well is like yeah.
The Judge Render twice.
All of the King of the Ronalds stuff, which looking back, we probably misranked, I think, on our league tier list. I do, mate. Whatever. But that's the whole point of this thing, right? You're always gonna look back. But
I would debate that, but personally, I like because
we've got this to deal with. Sorry, I shouldn't distract. But why is Mickey 50th? Why has Mickey made it on the list? And we said this before as well. We had a little chat before about this. We could have easily done a top 100. So the 50s really kind of rarefied air. Why is Mickey there for you?
So Mickey's there for me because there was a point in battle rap where performance wasn't exactly the biggest component, but there was one person that had the performance and the energy to sing songs in crowds and win when they're not even his songs. He didn't win many battles, but charisma.
No. Oh my god!
Energy.
He battled Luna.
Like you said, mythos.
Yes, mythos is there. So that is hilarious. That we both went for Mickey there, but he
just needed something. I would, but as soon as you said an anarchist, I went, shut the fuck up. I almost interrupted you, but
yeah,
I can't believe that. They're gonna this isn't. They're gonna think it's fucking rigged, right? Okay,
no. It is wild looking back, because obviously Mickey's arc is insane as well. Going from that, I think he was like a skater, thrasher sort of, that world. We had a lot of good episodes as well on Battle Rap Resume, I may add. And even our own little kind of wild little beef or whatever. But no, I love Mickey. And obviously King of the Ronalds happened, and he was such an antagonist to Don't Flop then, and it was great. And there was just this nice kind of drama, even though it was on a very kind of minimal scale. And then he came back on Don't Flop, and then he sort of disappeared. But like, I feel like his influence is undeniable. I feel like he had real star power. He did.
He did star power. That might you look at like sort of, and a name that's probably going to pop up on both our lists a little bit later. Mickey Worthless versus Ark. Because that is for him. That's to me that's a highlight performance for him.
Oh yeah, the light wispy hairs and
Ark is a legend. But Mickey,
I'm taking the Mickey out of Worthless, or what? Yeah.
But what Ark didn't have at the time was star power that Mickey had.
It's true. Yeah, it was an odd matchup. But
Ark was trying to go bar for bar in that first round with the whole was her name Steph?
It was Steph, yeah.
And just because that was hot off the topic, the disrespect, like there was a lot of things that Mickey had done for me that at least he needed somewhere. Even for all the bad things too, he needed that position. I think 50 is more than reasonable. And I think people will be shocked at that, but that if we both think it, we can't only be the two that think that he'd be 50.
It was definitely one that I wrangled with. And there's quite a few that maybe we'll mention at the end of this edition that I wanted to
Mm.
include in the 50, and I just couldn't quite. But I feel like Mickey has that intangible quality, I suppose. And I think I'm quite biased as well. I think when the grand history of UK battle rap's written, maybe it won't be as, praiseworthy. But just because the era that I'm from, I remember going to the first ever battle rap event that I went to, which was Don't Flop, Night and Day Cafe in the Northern Quarter, Manchester. And I
Right.
saw Mickey in the queue. I was starstruck. Like, that is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
lame to say, but it was like I'd seen, like, I don't know, whoever, like Florence Pugh or something.
That's fine.
It was
That's
wild.
quite familiar. Like
So,
having that.
so we got to, I don't know what tempo we want to go this through, but I think because we both did Mickey, let's go to 49 now.
Yeah.
So for me, this guy goes in again. I don't necessarily think he's the craziest battler. Like and I feel like his style has aged actually quite badly. But I feel the work rate and the certain embodiment of a certain side of Don't Flop.
Okay.
It's Big J. Big J is my 49th pick.
Ah,
I'm gonna put
okay.
Big J at 49
Big
there.
Big J, Big J definitely had an acclaim for sure. Big J, like he didn't quite make my list, but I've got someone
Yep.
on my 49 for the exact same reasons.
Uh,
And whether it was the Don't Flop time or the King of the Ronald time, as a specific style, the man had won a tournament to get on fire in the booth. My 49th is Bowski.
Oh, yeah, Bowski was one that I was on the cutting room floor, and that was painful. That was
That
painful.
like big bow style, but for the same things for Big J, and I think I'm playing with it that pause. Big J, sorry, that was crazy. Big J, like his highlight moments a lot of times was the 2-on-2s, which I can accept
Yes.
as
Yeah.
big moments, but I then have to go with the individual battles, and then what are you without the other person? So for me, I've got Bowski there personally, but Big J is a good shout, but with the exact same reasons.
Yeah, yeah, no, I like Bowski there, and like one of the things that we were, sorry, that I was kind of entertaining as well was the only way I could rank someone above someone else on the list is if I thought that the person below them, pause, could beat them, pause. So, we I do think Big J could beat Mickey, but I do think Bowski could beat Big J actually. But
Mm-hmm.
again, we've said this before. Like, I think these kind of early reaches of the list are a bit vague and a bit grey, and there's probably like 20
Yeah,
battlers really that kind of orbit around that
they all
kind of
work around
area.
this.
So yeah, again, Mickey, Big J, Bowski, great battlers, and I think probably
Yeah.
again, Mickey and Bowski are kind of a duo in their own pairing, right? Like, they've done a lot of stuff as well. But number 48, number
Right.
48 for me, this is you can tell this list isn't biased because this man actually bodied me.
Okay. Okay.
And it's not 142. It is Briggsy, Bison Briggs. I think
Right.
in terms of what he's given to the scene through Premier Battles, he's obviously the engine, the genius behind that.
Yeah.
His editing and just his kind of aesthetic and like, everything about Premier Battles and the way they've utilized Patreon and the way they sort of, was so sort of just innovative really by having their own platform kind of pre that and stuff. But yeah, again, I respect what he's done as well, and he managed to beat Soliloquy, which is very impressive.
Yeah,
But
I took down the
I
goal.
feel like he's here more for me because I couldn't not have Briggsy in the top 50. I really respect Briggsy. I don't mean this in any kind of offensive way or whatever. But I don't know. It was 48 for me. 48 was Briggsy.
Yeah. I think 48 is a good spot. Like I mean I've
Do I
got
put Bison Briggs or Briggsy? I don't want to offend here. What's his
I think Briggsy is what we know him
Briggsy?
as.
Yeah, Briggs.
But you know what? I will say Briggsy for me is actually quite a bit higher, respectfully. But we'll get to why
Yeah, yeah,
I've got
yeah.
him higher because I think modern Briggsy is kind of slept on a bit next to the Briggsy of the past. Like the modern one now is his style's more evolved, and so in evolving with the style, kind of brings him up. To me anyway, because if you stand the test of time, then you get credit from me.
Hmm.
48 for me.
48, please, Cammy, for you.
I this one pains me because I feel like skill level top 20, top 15, possibly
Mm.
level, and but was just always the underdog, always downplayed, never never had got given that opportunity. Oh, it hurts. Mackenzie's 48.
Wow. God, I would have thought he'd at least be top 10 for you.
But this
But
is
no, no,
this
no.
is when you know it's unbiased. Here we go. There's the unbiased bit.
Wild.
So it's just always downplayed. He's always put down, and that's not exactly his fault. But when you have to consider what he's gone through in battle rap, you have to consider the matches that he had, who he faced, all this stuff. And I think if battles that he had booked went down, I think he'd be way higher. But just it hurts me to say it. I just have to look at his battles. He had a King of the Ronalds run. Totally get that. He was
Hmm.
beating up on a lot of people that were probably pretty easy for him to take down, and but he was always better than the credit that he was given. But unfortunately, contextually, he was just always just in the mix. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride,
Mm.
even as a champion. So I'm giving him 48, but in 2 years' time, if he keeps going the way he's going, he probably would have hit 30.
So 47 for me now is again an incredibly important mythic figure. And this guy had a lot less battles than you remember. He essentially went supernova off his set. Cam?
Sorry, man.
Oh,
Sorry, I was just checking my
sorry, dude.
phone was swinging. Angle.
No, it's all right, man. So this guy went supernova essentially off his second battle, had a very weird third clash that I think may have distempered him somewhat, but I don't think his heart was really in battle rap. However, I think the battles hold up to scrutiny, and he is a very skilled writer in his own right that does translate. Mark Grist is 47 for me.
Oh, you have got him, like I say, low up on the list. I've got him a little further down too.
I
I
I I think the ultimate pendulum swinging for me is, can this
Yeah,
guy beat this guy? Or this girl beat this
I love
girl or
that. Yeah,
whatever. Like
I do
that's kind
love
of
the
how I'm
competition.
thinking of it, just almost as a fan. I'm just like, okay, if they're in competition, this is a ranking of the best, right? Like again,
Yeah,
Mickey's important and da da da, and Gris got the million views, but it's like actually that's just the sort of substrata to how just skilled they are, I suppose, and how competitive they are.
yeah.
So I suppose I go with Grist. But
Yeah.
do you? So yeah, I mean, again, we'll get to your sort of Grist
Get to
take
what
or
mine is,
whatever.
but yes,
But
I like I'm glad that he's at least on the list because
yeah,
man, the influence of the teacher student like rap battle like that was on Channel 4 News. Kruger was, if you ever see that interview like with Kruger on Channel 4, his hair is all over the place. Like he's clearly had a few joints and he sat there talking on
yeah,
it.
that's
Channel
it's
4
it's a
News.
classic clip. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, but
Freddie
that battle
Scott, like,
alone,
yeah.
like considering that, if I'm correct in saying the same event where Lunar C and Uno Lavos happened,
Mm-hmm.
Blood in the Water,
Blood in the Water too, I
um,
think, yeah.
Blood in the, yeah. So considering that, and they still got more shine because there's multiple million view battles on that event, but that battle there in particular, the optics of it, and Blizzard's a bit of a young kid at that time, but Mark Gurst played into that whole style. He like the awareness to do so, to be right. This
Yep.
is teacher student. I am going to be the adult in this battle, and that's like a focused angle that in
Yep. Yep. Yep.
2011, 2010, not too many people were taking.
No, fair.
And this sounds crazy. We'll call it soft core rap. How about that? Right? But
Good.
sorry, but that kind of the softer side of not just instantly insulting, but
Yeah.
build up, and storytelling was a bit more. It's quite important
Yeah.
that like that's a
You're only called
innovative
Blizzard
style.
because World of Warcraft did that. It's like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah.
Like
No, it's
it's
good.
sort of it was an innovative style at the time, so I give it a bit of credit.
He's
But
impactful though. He's very
yeah,
impactful. I think there's other than Lunacy, I don't think there's another Don't Flop battler that got more people into battle rap,
mm-hmm,
especially people of a certain kind of inclination like myself.
yeah,
you know. I think Mark was the gateway in that sort of sense. So
Absolutely.
I'm putting Grist at 47. Who's your 47?
My 47, right? When you go on his actual battles, he had good battles, but he was a bit more known. He was more known for the on beats, and
Mm-hmm.
then he became a bit of a superstar. And because this is battle rap and the standard that we've then set for us, I can consider the on beats, but I then have to give him a little bit of a damper, like one rounders and things like that
Sure,
on beat.
sure, sure.
So I have got Bruce C, like
Ooh.
47.
I Yeah, Brucey's not on my list again. He was the one hovering, but in
Like,
terms of superstardom, again, I don't even know the guy, but I'm just like, I'm fucking happy for this guy. Like this guy's like
well,
gone
we're rooting for him.
supersonic big. Like it's so good.
We're absolutely rooting for him right now. Like
Yeah.
he is.
I remember the After Dark movement, which respectfully was this kind of weird project he was in, and I was like, okay. But then he was like, oh, I'm 6 million on Spotify or whatever.
Mm. So with all that considered, I just
Mm-hmm.
because he's one of us in becoming a bigger star, and his on beat battles did get a lot of views. There's one or two that's like 800,000, 600,000.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Izzy Gibbs in particular, that he and was impactful, but he just wasn't. If he did a few more on like offbeat, I'll call them acapella battles, he'd be more in our sort of area. You know what I mean? But because he had so many there, and then the on beats, and then went off, consider his legacy. But there's other people with more battle rap legacy rather than rap legacy.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. It's a good inclusion. He does get hot like irons do. Some people actually
Mm,
forget that, but he does. But no, Brucey, yeah, just very skilled. He has that song £5 Bet. I don't know if you've heard that track.
I
Um,
think I might have.
but it's got like a music video and yeah, excellent tune. I mean, he's such a
Mm,
musical sort of battler anyway, and yeah, he's Brucey's fantastic.
yeah,
So 46 for me. We said before that this is going to be a bias list, Cammy. And I
yeah.
think this is possibly my most biased pick. So I will sort of, prefix it with this. So this is someone whose style of battle rap I am enamored by. I have massive respect from outside of battle rap in terms of his achievements musically, but I
Uh-huh.
feel like he's a born entertainer and really he's just uniquely captivating. And he has been around a long time, to be fair. And I feel like he has kind of, people when people battle him, they kind of elevate their game a little bit because they know
Yeah.
he's kind of, he's one of them ones. My pick for 46, Cam, is Soweto Kinch.
Oh, he didn't make the chopping block, but Soweto Kinch, he just battled Lazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking skill level, I suppose.
Yeah,
I couldn't put him
and
any higher in terms of influence, but I think around this region, it's like this is some guy that I really respect. Like I like the sort of battle rap he does. Like I said, it's something that I love.
and Soweto has a great freestyle ability.
Oh yes, that's I was gonna say. Yeah, that's
His
one of his.
freestyle ability is probably one of the best that Don't Flop has, the best that UK battle rap has. Like because he has been around for a while, eh? He's
A
been for a
long,
while.
long time. Yeah, pretty much
So
exclusively on Don't Flop. But
he's
2011 he came through. Yeah.
2011 because I wondered because there's a part of me thinking where would he have been if they did like the grab bag freestyles.
Hmm.
Like I feel like he never really did any of that, did he? Because if he did, he'd be fucking killing it.
He battled Dots in a weird battle where they were reacting to like a PowerPoint presentation of random prompts that was quite good.
Okay.
And then he battled Zen, an outdoor battle after we got kicked out of Fiddlers when I battled 142. And it like weirdly deteriorates into loads of like you fuck kids bars, and they're both like, this is weird, why are we doing this?
Jesus.
So um but
Why are we doing this
but
outside?
with that said, no, but Soweto is astonishing. I mean, the Shovel T battle, the Heretic battle, I'm just the Sharon. Oh, JB, he is a riot against JB. I think he's really on good form then. And his battles where he has something to say, like versus Canel versus Joker Star, on beat versus Lefty.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm being a bit of a fanboy now for Soweto, but who's your 46 pick,
But
please, Cam?
46 for me. Again, you'll notice that I feel like a lot of these guys are sort of in this kind of grouping. And it
Mm.
wasn't exactly intentional, but I kind of felt it was right. Now, similar to Mackenzie, forever an underdog, forever slept on, has always needed a push and never got a push. has the talent, is a veteran, and has run events.
Hmm.
Put Hulk at
Hulk.
46.
I like it. Hulk at 46. Why? Tell me.
So as said before,
Hmm.
he's always needed that opportunity, and unfortunately, with the top 50 greatest of all time UK battle rappers, now I have to then look at his past battles and go, he needed a bit more opportunities. Like he has got some names, but there's more names to be had. I don't know, has he had an international really? Like I don't remember him having
He
some.
battled Chrome, I think, on King of the Dart.
Oh, right. So
Following the follow, it was like following the van with something dirty, like the bin man or something. I can't
like
quite remember
that's
that, but yeah.
yeah, that was that King of the
Above.
Dot chalked out event.
Yes, in the worst venue in Europe, concrete. Oh my God.
So like it took a long time for him. He's always deserved a bigger name.
Hmm.
And like even when he didn't get on that Premier Battles draft list, like then because like as I understand why managers are like, oh, maybe I might not work with him because he's a veteran, it'd be difficult to work with. He still had the talent to be there somewhere, but there was a reason why they didn't put him in. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. Hulk
No,
again
no.
has the skill to be 30. He has all the skill. It just going on his battles. Like the impact of Hulk is more out of battle rap than in of battle rap by giving opportunities, running interviews, running events, being part of Don't Flop, part of King of
Hmm.
the Ronalds, like a big part of King of the Ronalds. He just needed more of a battle rap push rather than a regular push for like league owners and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's your pick, man, and we're not here to shoot down each other's picks.
Oh no,
But
no, no, man. But is there something that you think that is Hulk maybe a bit low?
I don't know. Was he? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just about what did he get that many dubs? Like, was he the greatest battler? I don't know. I love Hulk, but
I think he
was he
got. I
top
mean,
50, like Hall of Fame? Like,
yeah. Like
I don't
there's
know.
just
I don't
nothing
know.
for me to consider that. But like respectfully, I haven't gone through. I watch Hulk battles, but I've not gone through them all
No,
now for
no,
this
and I don't. I
to
love
know
Hulk.
wins and
Hulk.
loss records.
The thing about Hulk as well, like Clash of the Day was a big influence on me for Battle Rap Resume, just like seeing
Yeah.
people do Battle Rap Media stuff and like, so I no disrespect intended, but Hulk at 46. So we're gonna move on now to 45
Mm-hmm.
and more recent battler. And someone who doing my research, I realized hasn't really battled that much. And I think I can make a little bit of an argument to buttress, my nomination in the fact that he's becoming quite successful out of battle rap and becoming quite a sought
Okay.
after entity in the spoken word game. But I love his style and his demeanor and his poise and just the elegant way his writing sort of unfolds as it punches. I'm putting Scoop at 45. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I think that so there's a lot of names still to come through, and if
Oh,
we're
there's so
going
many. Yeah.
and if you're going through who beats who,
Yeah.
I'm going to be very interested if that's the same metric for Scoop and for a lot of other battle rappers that are coming after. Because I would say that a lot of my list, all 50 Scoop could be.
He could. He could.
He could, like, because he has the
Yeah.
skill level
He
for
just
that.
slow
So,
walks it. No, he could. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Okay. And especially right now with like Scoop being with not in sync. That's something totally
Diversity, right?
different. Diversity. That's
Hmm.
it. So
Ashley
like,
Banjo in that. It's crazy. So
oh,
good.
crazy, crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But he's
But
only got 11 battles, Scoop. You know?
but is it yeah that? But does that not make it more impressive that
It
he's
does.
that?
Yeah, no, no. But it's, what I'm talking about with his style, right? Like the head back for the eye drop. Like, it's just,
It
I don't
rolls
know.
into it like
It does. It
it's
does.
very goat to a god is a god to a sacrifice like all that
Yeah,
shit
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like and it rolls. It's so casual how he does
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
It's,
we'll see where I have him there. But for my
yeah, you're 45, please.
most prob,
Ooh. This is, yeah. And I like how every time each of us says a battler, we go, oh,
you're like,
because it's so fascinating to see like how someone else sees it. So, most prob, are you like? because I'm just trying to. I love Most Prob. I love
Mhm.
Adam. Should I say? Are you factoring in the proposal? Are you just talking about his whole back catalog? Like, what is the argument?
Oh, right. There is the proposal was obviously a big moment, but
Of course, yeah.
the
I
thing
was there, by the way. I was in the crowd.
were you the guy at the very front that went like this?
No, but there,
Oh my god!
if you go on the Facebook tagged album of 5BW, you can see me and my friend going like,
Love wins.
yeah. So, but sorry, most prob, you were
So
saying.
most prob was as a casual battle rapper that he was, that his style was so interesting to me as watching, and it was hard. He to me maybe because the Shuffle T was kind of infancy when most prob was kind of peak, right? There
Mhm.
was he was one of those first battle rappers that actually to me had the ability of defense. That how could you say mean things to most prob, because he's actually not saying the meanest things to you and you look
No.
away. I think I always akin to most prob versus soul. So
What a battle. Oh my
I
God.
know, so soul's going crazy, this, that, and the fourth, and then here in most probs making it close with good defense and saying, but you look like how a basset hound
Yeah.
thinks
Oh
a
yeah.
basset hound looks like. like things like that are like it
Yeah,
just
but
amazing.
Soul's coming with the fucking Andy Murray, like,
Oh, how did that go
oh,
again? Made of tennis.
made Don Blaine remembered for tennis instead of shooting. Like, oh my, yeah,
Become.
crazy.
Oh, that's so crazy. But he's doing all this, and most prob is doing a totally different style, a totally different way of rapping,
Hmm.
and is making it close. And was one of those that really you knew who he was, and I always I think it was Elmac that said it before about the change of energy.
Hmm.
So in a battle, I mean, I've never battled myself like that, but it's always an important thing where, well, it seems to be where you make the difference between you and your opponent apparent. This is like, and oh, the energy's over here, and this is what he did. He counteracted a lot of aggressive battle rappers when that was a style at the time.
Hmm.
When you're going through his catalog, there's a lot of people that you think, oh, you wouldn't really be battling them. They're maybe a bit different style, but he made it close all the time, and that gets a lot of respect from me. And
No, definitely, definitely. Prince Kong was an
uh-huh.
odd style clash. Zayn in a very
Mm-hmm.
wide frame. That might have been Bagdell's first battle that he recorded. And my brain's telling me that, but I don't have that verified, but I'm pretty sure
That,
that's right. But
that's why you've got all the knowledge, man.
but yeah, no, most prob at 45 is cool. So we move forward now. This is fun, by the way, going through these. This is actually like again, this is I urge people to do this themselves
Hmm.
because it's a nice kind of mind exercise, really, if you just
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
something like we're all kind of if you're watching this video, you're the sort of person that would do this sort of
Yeah.
thing.
If
So
you're committed to watching this, especially live right now, you
yeah,
will be
yeah.
going,
And we'll get to them at the end, but shout out to everyone in the comments, by the way, because some of the comments are calling us out already for these takes. So I'm loving it. Like,
oh, no. I'm lucky I'm on the Zoom
uh,
end and I can't see the chat because I think I'd cry.
yeah. So um we'll push forward now. 44 at. So this is the only female battler in my list.
Uh,
And I had to include her. I'm sure you know who it is because I've
mhm.
always been kind of just bewitched by her ability and her rawness and her clarity and, all the kind of stuff that's horrific about being, a female battle in a male dominated scene. But I think she kind of just sidesteps any of those sort of cliche responses to just genuine, she's an amazing battle rapper. DK.
Uh-huh. DK.
DK at
DK
44.
is a great shout. Now, DK is one of these ones that
Trailblazing.
I'm playing with pause that I'm judging on it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
have one that has a contingency of which way I'm going with it, so it will be soon. But I think you're right. I think DK was the first female battle rapper in the UK that didn't sexualize themselves,
Sure.
because you like was it Bombshell in Blizzard, and you had one or two other females that tried before that were like, oh, and if I touch you up, like, and that was a weird like
Yeah.
DK held herself as a professional, and it was this is what these guys are doing. I'm doing this too. So like DK definitely 43 and needed that a spot somewhere for sure, just as a representative.
Yeah, but it's
Of,
not just it's not that gesture. I know you're not. I know you're not saying it is, but it's like I'm thinking about the villain battle, the archaic battle, like
mm,
the Mickey battle, which is again we touched on Mickey before. His performance, his charisma, his
yeah,
round where he essentially asks her out on a date and there's no real bars there, and she sort
and
of
Nick,
plays it off very artfully and responds to it, viciously. Like DK's Uno, like she's a talent. So. DK's there at 44. You're 44, please, Cam.
my 44. Now, there's a part of me going, oh, right, my 44, looking at my list, I'm just going to go with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, take your time, my guy.
I can't change it. I can't change it.
No, as soon as you say it, as soon as it's on the spreadsheet.
No, right, 44 is Canal.
Okay, Canal.
Canal is
Wow.
44.
Let me
So
hear it.
Canal is 44, and a similar reason why Hulk is where he is. Now,
Mm.
Canal, he has he'll say himself, he'll tell like he's trying to tell me, oh yeah, I'm shy. Oh, you can come battle me, I'm shy. But realistically, that's a Venom's trick. That's just someone who's trying to set you up because he's
Yeah, yeah.
very, very fucking good. It's just I think some of his performance have never been the best, and there's been moments for Canel where you think he's going to win, and then something happens, or the performance isn't quite it. But when Canel hits, he hits. And more recently, LSD performance, Shuffle T performance. Like there's been battles where he's made it close or won convincingly. That
Yeah.
for me, going to like Canel is, and as well when Don't Flop, I don't want to say Don't Flop died because obviously he's back, but that
Mm-hmm.
stint when Don't Flop wasn't around, Canel was still active. A lot of these guys stopped. Canel continued to battle. Dub Scandals, Beast
Does that
Angling.
does that mean he gets on the top 50 though?
Well,
Because he
well,
battled when it wasn't big. Like I don't
well,
really.
even not battle, but it was big though. Like battle rap was big. It's just the big league was gone, and a lot of people dipped, and he kept around and tried to keep the torch alive because he appreciated the craft. Like there was a lot of people that just said, "Oh, it's too good for me." These leagues. Canel, he not afraid of smoke,
Yeah.
not afraid of any smoke at all, and he would take anyone as long as it works for him.
Would
As
Canal beat? Would Canal beat? Would the best Canal beat the best most prob?
um, possibly, possibly because
That'd be a good battle though. To be
it
fair,
would be an
that'd be a
amazing
good.
battle actually. Like I think Canel's sarcasm, like as I said with most prob, a great deflector, and a
Well,
lot of battle
the
rappers use.
reason, yeah, I mean, the reason I asked that, sorry, is because in the chat someone said that DK would beat Scoop, and again, that would be a great battle. So, um, it's
Okay.
fun. It's fun to dwell on these things, but we're getting into specifics again because we are ranking, and it's very cool to see how different our lists have been as well. By the way, like there's been one overlap at the start and then nothing else. So, um, we move now to the 43rd pick, and this is a guy that I had to include because I admire him so deeply as a writer. I think he's so incredibly accomplished. It was someone that we knew as a writer before we knew as a performer. There were whispers of him in the scene. Frankie Fraser is my 43rd pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the wow?
To Frankie Fraser is a talent in the UK.
Huge.
Like, and he's a big talent, even from now to
He's
when
written
he
some incredible bars that I've never forgotten.
absolute and that and you see where my group of Torags together land, and having Frankie Fraser near them, I couldn't think of that. I think Frankie is a lot further down. But that being said, like a lot of early Frankie is needing to work on performance because it took a long time for him to kind of get the voice to become a big stage battle rapper. There was
Hmm.
like the Gemini battle and a few battles in between with the Don't Flop era. Kind of, he was considered like a quiet battle rapper. Does that make sense?
No, I mean, and again, I know this is going to cause lots of outrage that Frankie's so high or whatever. And
Oh,
maybe at the end of this episode, we can react to each other's lists because, already some of your picks. This is what's so good about it. It's just like you just don't understand the other person.
I
You
love it. I
think you
love
know a
this.
guy, but but yeah, like as I said before, like these are people that I really, really respect and really, really, just admire. But yeah,
Yeah,
Frankie's 43rd for me. Who is
right.
43 for you, please?
43 for me is DK.
Okay. Okay. This is cool. We're
43 for
seeing a
me is
little bit of
DK.
linkage here now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
I knew it was close there, but
yeah,
43
that's
for me is
interesting that we
DK.
overlap there. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it was as a female that came to play like a battle rapper and kind of and presented herself so well in a lot of these circumstances where others didn't quite do so well, and I think for her set a standard for other females to be in battle rap and like how you should be, as well as the battle she actually has. Like, but I have to consider that although she had a street battle with Hulk 4 years ago, she had a long gap in between her last battles before. So her legacy sort of stops at a point because there's the thing with legacy, you have to
Hmm.
consider everything from this
Absolutely.
moment backwards. So it ends quite far ago. So for me, 43 is a great spot for her, just as someone as part of the culture.
So 42 now. And again, I want to just reassure people because I'm seeing people going insane in the chat. This is our own lists. I mean, this is what we like, right? So if you're like going crazy about why is this guy X or Y, then like I hear you because I do the same thing when I
Uh,
watch like Anthony Fantano or Dead End Hip Hop ranking or whatever. That's all part of the game, right? But
I watch Champion of the Year and get very annoyed
exactly,
with them.
exactly. But for me, Dago Davalo should have been champion of the year. But whatever, we don't get
You
our
always
dreams
had a
met.
spot for him. Like when are you flying him out for a battle?
No, I remember I got quite a few battlers into him at a certain time. Dank Schrader loved him because of me. Yorks, Nathan Jones, like we got a few
Yeah.
people. I think Will Ross, but
Like Diego battled Thesaurus, didn't he? He had a great battle with Thesaurus, if I remember correctly.
no, they've never battled.
Have they not? Why? Who
No,
am I
they've not
thinking
battled.
of
No,
this?
Dago's battled Real Deal, Homeschool, maybe a few other names, but mostly like it's so weird when you watch like iBattle stuff from like 2017. You're like, who are these people? None of these people are
Mm,
around anymore.
yeah.
But they're still great. But like Dago is one of those guys. But so yes, we push forward to our 42nd pick now, Cam. Um,
Mm,
and this is someone who, I'm a huge fan of. I think he mars the poetry with the battle rapping, to a higher level than most, really. And I think he, has quite a Marmite style that some people don't gel with, and I do understand that. But I think he's a skilled performer and kind of able at doing comedy as well as just more kind of, standard bar work.
mm,
Crafty is my pick for 42.
mm. Is that so? Is that your first don't flop champion?
Crafty is 42.
As a don't flop champion at 42.
I don't really hold as much stock in the kind of belts
Mm.
that some do, maybe. I'm just taking him as a writer, like as someone that,
Yeah,
as a performer, as someone who does battles, like, does rounds. So, oh, whoops. But I
Uh-oh.
just give that the whole way. Um,
The chat will be like,
just,
yes, we got rid of the list.
just throw this
Finally.
out the window right now. This is so bad. But, so what do you think of Crafty at 42?
So Crafty is a good battle rapper, and I can see why 42 is the placement for him. Like when I remember when he got the title, like, and everyone was a bit like, "Oh, Crafty with the belt. What?
Mm.
Why?" Like, but when he battled Yunnan, Shuffle T, and
He was
Quill, like,
amazing against Shuffle
it
T.
made
And
sense.
and his early run was astonishing
Yeah.
versus Press One. And the Heretic battle was a weird loss. And
Mhm.
Conquer, like, I think the guy had real runs, but whatever, he doesn't gel with you. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But
No, no, no. He tells
for
me.
me, he
I've got him a
does. For
bit
me, he
further
does.
down.
So,
He got
you
him
know,
a bit further down, but as with Crafty, it's just I think I wanted just a little more. I want a little more promo from him. I think he needs to let people know I'm battling. I am him. He does a lot
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the. I'm sure he had like did he not have something with Jeremy Corbyn?
He had like a big single with Jeremy, I think, on
Yeah,
iTunes.
yeah,
Yeah,
a big
I
thing,
bought
like.
it. Yeah,
And like so, but that's someone that's using their battle rap platform for what they feel
yeah.
is right. So like that, like using their platform and pushing forward that way, it would have just been good to get some like Labourites to come to events or something. It'd be pretty cool. Like,
Yeah,
but
if we got fucking Keir Starmer, well, no, I think
oh,
Kraft hates him, but yeah.
do you remember? Before I give you my one,
Hmm,
the
pause.
Kid Twist versus Rowan.
The who? Sorry, versus Roan.
Twist versus Rowan.
Kid Twist versus Roan. Yeah, of course.
And so, do you remember that Kid Twist brought like the Minister of Toronto at the end of the battle?
Yes, the
And
what
then,
was he?
and
The
then
mayor,
Ron's like
Rob
this,
Ford.
giving him the middle finger. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that could be Keir Starmer. Come here. Come
You
tell
know,
these stories,
I
bro.
don't think Keir like wants the crafty vote, but you know, we'll see. Maybe he does. But crafty's 42 for me. Who's your 42nd?
My 42nd, only because the run that this person had was short, but it was impactful. And they had a channel to match, to congregate with fans and talk opinions and become a
Mm-hmm.
character. Big in Premier Battles, right up until COVID. I've got Take Note Talks at
Damn,
42.
Tox. Okay.
Like I and shout
Yeah,
out
yeah.
Talks.
He had a time. He had a
He
time for
had a
sure.
time.
For
Like
sure.
I know Bobby was kind of at a lower point when they battled, but as he might have been one of the villains of battle rap. Like in UK battle rap, I really think that Tox was one of these guys that was like, I don't care. You don't react to me, but I'm going to win anyway. And he clean rounds and put up fights against battle rap. I know a Gemini got him kind of clear.
Horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know, but his style, like it was the street style, but it was multi-syllabic. I
No, he
always go,
wasn't bad. I mean, anyone going after that gem round is losing.
oh,
Like, it
bro,
wasn't
I
about
know.
that Tox. And
But
like,
I'm more thinking of the scoop battle. I think I always remember but
yeah.
have it like Anakin panicking like when Padawan vanishing like the little things like that are like he was a very good rapper and he had a bit of a control of the media on his own perception. People had a
Hell yeah.
lot to say about him, and he was able to counteract it. And again, using their battle rap platform to then change the narrative and having influence. And he was definitely influential.
No, I completely agree. And it was a sick time, wasn't it? Where him and Flawless had their own teams, but
Yeah,
they also had
sarcasm
Sarcasm
city, man.
City, and they were just causing like mayhem with everyone. And it was
Mm-hmm.
just fucking, it was like a great time. It was like just a unique sort of time in Battle Rap. And I think Battle Rap Resume was even kind of just on the fallow period of that time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And I think Mickey went on theirs or blah, blah. But yeah, you're right. I don't have Tox on my list. On beat he's good. I remember against Future, he had that bar, take his wig off like a judge after in the evening, or so. I can't remember what he
Yeah.
said, um, but yeah, Tox is an interesting pick. So 41 now.
Okay.
This is a guy who, I think it's fair to say, isn't having like amazing performances lately, and is maybe kind of renowned off his earlier acclaim. But he's someone that undeniably has a giant skill ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
some unforgettable moments. I think a battler that everyone is interested in. I think a battler who is, technically very sound. Villain is my pick for 41.
Ooh. I kicked Villain off my list.
Oh, why?
I think Villain in the last 2-3 years has ruined the legacy that he once had. I
Jeez,
think I think
I don't think you're wrong, but dang.
I think a lot of times is with Villain you go back to Carlos battle, your J90 battle, your like DNA,
Yunnan.
man. Like these are great moments, but
Yeah.
he that's why people wanted to battle him. That's why Black T wanted to battle him, Frost wanted to battle him, Tech wanted to battle him. The Villain that prime that people want to see beats them all clearly because
Mm.
Villain was almost a god at one point. But you keep tripping and falling, then our perception of you totally changes. Like I think I always laugh at that video of not villain nutmegging the police officer instead of battling someone.
Right,
Like,
right, right. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, but with villain, it's like he just needed more consistent performances, and that's and once a year. If he took one battle a year and he had just had the classic performance that he did, no one would fuss. But he was picking up battles and he was losing and then fucking up. And to me, for the last one, it's just put such a damper on him because he was a great. And if
He
you're not
was. He
there
was.
now, he's not surviving the times that we are now. He's not surviving. Like I can't see a villain beating a Moke. I can't see a
Uh-huh.
villain beating a Maverick. I can't see a villain beating a Georgie Roots. I think they did battle, and I can't see these guys losing to villain. Villain's just his talent is up here, but his performance is down here.
It's so true, and obviously the majority of his battles are on Don't Flop, but he's
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of Premier battles, and
Mm-hmm.
respectfully, none of them are good. Like
I think
none of them are
Raptor's
that.
okay. The
Yeah,
first
but like
Raptor.
they're uneven, and like when you watch someone battle, it's like when you go to a play or whatever. It's like it's live, and like you want to feel safe. I know it's a bit of a weird way of putting it, but you want to be
Yeah.
like, okay, I can just watch this person go off right now, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh no, I don't know, but I'm still a fan. I'm still a huge
Mm-hmm.
fan of Villain and the sort of the intricacies and the tapestries that he weaves, and I think he's a very, very talented guy. So Villain's my
Yeah.
41st pick. Yours, please, Cam.
Now I thought you were going to say the name that I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sound very similar, and then you
yeah.
said I've got Mata at 41.
Ooh, okay,
I
okay,
got
yeah,
Mata
yeah,
at
yeah,
41. I
yeah.
think
Yeah, I knew he was gonna come up. Yep.
Mata, he well, first of all, he lost me money, but I don't think he actually lost me money. I think the judges just counted the wrong way for a battle. But when Mata, it's his style has been the same the whole time, and it's his best performances are 2-on-2s, and I'm not just counting the Lunar Sea, P Soldiers, like the other performances that he has, people that kind of can peak more while he sets up and does the extra things. I think there's just a level of consistency that he is at, which is impressive to be in that level of consistency, but you're not exceeding beyond it. You're not going below your par. Like that par is a
Hmm.
good way of saying for him. There's just a level of consistency, and that is to be a compliment because a lot of these battle rappers don't have that consistency. But I would want to see a Matter take it up a notch. And whilst he's been here for so long, it's just the same kind of level for him. So I kind of have to go. He's not quite top 30. He's not quite there. He's in the mix always, and respect is definitely deserved for Matter. Just is he going to go the extra mile? I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how far he goes as we reach number 40.
Uh-huh.
Number 40 for me is a battler that I was introduced to when I battled 142 at the Fiddlers.
Oh.
And this guy was facing a guy from Poetic Warfare, and he's someone that really has gone, strength to strength, kind of being part of the Premier Battles ranks for a long time and having some incredible battles, especially in the past year. But I've always respected this guy's writing and just the kind of I don't know, the kind of just his very measured attack. It's Rivers at 40 for me.
Mm, Rivers is a great. I can see why you're saying that position.
Hmm.
Rivers has a in the last year or so is definitely he's you know what
He has.
if he like he's now got the names that he's been needing to get for a long time.
Yeah.
He's just getting them now, where he could have got them time ago. So if we count where he is now, obviously, if you were to say 2 years in the future, I think Rivers would be higher on your list. I think Rivers would be higher if he's on my
It's just
list.
honestly, Cam, the reason why any of these people aren't higher is because UKBR is so stacked. Like there's
Uh-huh.
so many incredible battlers, so it's just like,
You have to, and you have to put him somewhere. So I'm glad that Rivers is on the list. I am glad about that because Rivers, like his style, he's almost a figurehead for what people would have said the gift of the gab style a long time ago. What people would have said about that sort of style, like the what's now just battle rap. We're all one. We're all one
right,
in one
right, right.
culture now. But he still represents like an area for an unspoken side for a long time, and he keeps that original to himself. And I give a lot of respect for people with them similar styles. I think Rivers is just a great and I don't have much to say about Rivers being in the spot. I'm just glad that he's on the list because he deserves the respect.
Yeah, yeah, no, I had to include him because him versus Moke is a regular watch for me. I think
Mm.
that's an outstanding
That
battle,
first
and
round there, Valley.
yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
and I mentioned the poetic warfare before. That was Quack that I was referencing.
Wow.
What is it? The Tom out in front for cover, like Scientology, and like it was, yeah, yeah. Huge Rivers fan, so yeah.
Uh-huh.
So your 40th, please. We're about to get to we're about to finish our first 10 here. So your 40th,
I
please.
know, Jesus. So people that are watching live, I hope you're ready to hear Tom's heartbreak, and we'll have a moment of silence right before I say this name.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
let's go.
just
Let's
making
go.
sure we've got this set up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A legend in the game. Very jokey style. I'm not even going to introduce him. Pamphlets at 40.
Oh my God. 40. Damn.
That moment of silence was so great.
That is the first one that has hurt. That is the first one that hurt. But dude, it's your list. Like I say, I'm not gonna get in my feelings about it. It's your list. But like, I don't like what.
I knew that'd get you. Okay,
What? No,
okay.
it did. It did.
It's the pamphlet. Okay, pamphlet is just returning now.
Yeah.
He's just returning now. I think pamphlet is very performance and very jokey, but as a very limited style. Like
Mm.
you, it's his style is very much in a box of these are the things that he does, and that's what you expect from him. And I can't
Okay.
imagine he's going to do anything different versus Joy France. I can't imagine it. And he was around for a long time, but right where Don't Flop seemed to start really picking up, it kind of felt like Pamphlet dipped. Like that 2013, 2014, am I right in
Yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah.
it kind of dipped where the big battles are coming. We could have had Pamphlet internationals or more of them, but but he just sort of left when things were getting good. And if he stayed, he could have got more. I know he did one or two battles afterwards, but it was like always a return from the peak pamphlet that we got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I
Uh-huh.
hear you. I hear you. I just feel we kind of approach the list in a different way, which again is very interesting. I think you're more historiographical, like, okay, this person wasn't here for this time or they were contributing in this era, which is completely
Mm-hmm.
fair game. Whereas for me, I'm more like, okay, how much do I like this person's writing? Like, how much can I
Uh-huh.
rewatch it and enjoy it? Which again, I'm not saying you're not factoring in,
No, 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 no,
but
no, no.
we will. This is the beauty of doing these lists.
Uh-huh.
We will get to people that we've also mentioned, right? And we will be like, why did you, or why did you, or
It,
whatever. So,
I've done everything I could to try and take like I'm trying to take and I'm not saying you're biased. I promise I'm not. We
no, no,
all
no,
are
no.
biased. I've tried to take that out and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, computer mode. This was here. Don't Flop was like this.
No,
Where
it's a
was
good
this
way.
guy?
Yeah.
This is where could he have been if he stayed? And I know it's all hypotheticals, but I'm trying to lay out what possibly could have been and where they were and how many views and all of
Yeah.
these things that the only things I can calibrate really, and then my understanding of the game at the time, watching it, growing up with it, how did I feel comes afterwards. So as I
So
say, I give credit to longevity.
no, absolutely. And there's so many factors, like we've said before, like, and probably lots we haven't even considered. And, who can decide what
Absolutely.
the ultimate list is, whatever. But 39 now. So For my 39th pick, I've just realized this on the fly. This edition, I don't think necessarily he might have been one of the more recent battlers on this list. There might be one or two more recent than him. But this guy basically has had a renaissance, a rebirth, a reincarnation in the last 3 or 4 years.
All right.
And he's really risen through the ranks. And I I put him higher because he has had big matchups and he has showed up on the higher stages. But I feel like he hasn't quite reached his potential yet, almost. I feel like there's actually another layer to Bizzo
Well,
Bond at 39.
what if there's another level for Bizzle Bond, then he talent wise he's the best the UK's had. He's that shy horror.
No, no.
If there's another level, because Bizzle, like I don't know how many people right now can beat Bizzle. Like without going into the big lists of who's the end or anything like that, I just don't know how many
Yeah.
people actually can beat Bizzle. We're on the list that we've got,
I think
or on the
Bizzo,
list down the way.
like in all the Mario games, the boss has a very like obvious thing to jump on. I think Bizzo
Uh-huh.
kind of has that.
All
But
right.
I think his highest highs are incredible. I think the jazz
Yes.
battle that just went down that I was just so excited to watch. Some of his punchlines made me like freak out. I was like, oh my God, because he builds them so slowly, like the jazz in the hotel, upper room, background,
Uh-huh.
all that sort of stuff. So, but again, I feel like sometimes that's his detriment as well. I think sometimes his punches are too long and a bit too signaled and a bit too
Okay.
obvious. And you're like, yeah, I know what the rhyme's going to be. Yeah, your
Mm.
body count went up. And again, I'm not saying that's a Bizzo problem. That's just a battle rap problem in general.
I
But
mean, we're
you
hype.
know,
We would be aware of that. Like I think for how much
that's
that
just
we.
it's just something I hear. Yeah, it's just. But again, it's whatever. I'm just an average fan. Like I'm not saying it's any
Yeah.
expertise, but for me, Bizzo's 39. Bizzo
And
Bond. Sorry, should it be Bizzo Bond rather
it's
than Bizzo?
either or.
Again,
I
it's
would
like it's
will
like
say
it's like
like
Bison Bond, Bison
I
Briggs,
know
right?
I've just said that I probably sound like I'm glazing a little bit there. Before the absolute tournament, he would not be any top 50 discussion. He would not
Never.
be a
No.
single place.
God no.
This is a testament of how good his
Yep.
last 3 to 4 years are. He would
Exactly.
never, like, I never ever be in the conversation, and we'd be the comments would be going crazy if he never had the absolute tournament. Everything all the way up now, like they would be laughing us out the building. Like, there's a part of me that still remembers that Bizzle, I believe I'm right, Bizzle lost the Milky Bar Kid before the absolute tournament.
I think you're right. Yeah, I remember he was in the mix, right?
Yeah,
Eventually
like
battled. Yeah.
that is like the last judged loss, if I'm correct in saying.
Most likely. Most likely. And
Like, so that would never like Milky's the guy. Like there's you lose to someone like that in the mid tournament, respectfully, that just the last 3 years or so, the title reign, that this is where the impact comes into play. So I totally understand that spot. Like
mhm.
I've got him in there a bit higher, but I understand that spot. But I'm maybe thinking of how good the last three and how someone's turned things around so well.
But yeah, but for me, it's like their all together legacy. It's like, okay, hasn't battled, but obviously he's going to be top five. You know what I mean? It's like it's like where do they weigh up in the grand multiverse of
Mm,
things? But I'm still, I believe we were in Fiddlers at the same time when we saw Bizzo versus Tony D. That's one of
yeah,
the greatest battles I've ever seen live.
obviously I was.
That yeah. I mean, it's very clear where you were, but they
Fuck.
they both lost their minds, and Bizzo I think
Mm,
won. And I think
yeah,
Bizzo is
man.
an extraordinary battler. Like I feel like I'm almost coming across too harsh here because I am a really big fan. But like what I said, I mean, I feel like if some things get patched up, no, patched up's the wrong word because there's no like holes in it. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I just feel like for me
there's another
personally,
level.
yeah, just another level that you can ascend to.
So,
So
so
your 39th, please.
before I get to that
Yeah,
39,
yeah.
that Bizzle Tony D battle, and I know I was going crazy and all that, and everyone was going crazy in different moments in that
Yeah,
battle.
dude.
I would tell you, in that specific battle right there, was the change in the crowd. So you
Mm.
notice now that crowds now, in the last year and a half, 2 years since that battle happened, like London is the best crowd now.
Oh yeah,
Like
hell yeah.
a lot more reactions that happen now. in that small environment. Before that, it was Absolute 2 in Manchester. It was big
Leeds
event
also
in
people spoke about
Canning.
highly, like, yeah.
It was London wasn't a tap market. Like Trubs brought to London again. Like All Star 2 might have been the last event for Premier Battles in London. Like before COVID and all that, right? Like so this little plug event happening in London ended up being such a big thing that London became the number one place for battle rap. To me, that specific event made London the crowd it is now. I know London has been a good crowd, but there's also London's been a bad crowd. But where we're at now,
London's good. London's a good crowd.
well, I tell you, like All Star 2, apart from Maverick and Real Sick and Shotty and John John.
Yeah, I agree. That was the Steel Yards are terrible. Unless it's sold out, the Steel Yards a bad venue.
Like World Dom 8 as well, dead. Like
horrible.
not dead.
No,
like,
that was horrible.
Quiet.
There were like 5 people there. It looked like a Millie's cookies in there. It was crazy.
It's like
so, look, 39, my guy. 39. Where are we standing, bro?
Mark Grist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
so Mark Grist is
within 8 spots. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like he's in the conversation, and like his reign was small, but it was character building, playing it perfectly, becoming the guy.
His reign. Okay, so he went.
It wasn't a reign.
Blizzard.
I say reign loosely.
I know what you're saying, but I always think like, sort of fucked him with the Zayn battle. I feel it was a weird one, wasn't it? It wasn't a battle where he could shine. It was a battle where he was shamed, essentially. Like,
and
yeah,
I hear you on that because Zayn is such an off the wall style that he just says things, and
I love Zayn. I still love Zayn, but
yeah. I know Zayn's not really from here, but Zayn battles all the time here.
I was thinking there's a few battlers that technically
Yeah, I would if he was in the list, I would have threw him on it because that just sort of seems natural. But like I say, for Mark Grist, the impact of the one battle that he had and there in a style that was softer before a lot of people had the style, even before Most Pro, but no Most Pro. I think he battled on the card, but like lower down. But it just the way that his style transcended and the power, the impact. Like I said, there's a lot to be said that I've already said before. About Mark Grist.
We've touched on Grist. Yeah. So we will push forward now, Cam, to our 38th pick. So I'll go first, and this is a guy who was fundamental in the firmament of Don't Flop. Was a guy that was in the 2-on-2 tournament, was a guy that had acclaimed solo battles, was a guy that we just spoke about, Mark Grist. This is the guy that faced Blizzard after that battle. And he also came back for some great clashes as well. I'm a huge fan of Lego, and I'm putting him at 38.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Now, Lego didn't make the chopping block for me, respectfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but he was someone that I've got like a list of almost made it, and like him and Big J and a few battle rappers. I've got a few that have almost made it that could have easily been put out the way. Like, but Lego, I can respect it. I think Lego. Like, when was Lego's last battle? Because I was looking over and I thought it was Ogmios, but that's probably not true.
I think you're right. Sorry, let me just get that up. But the Og battle was 2014. And I just watched the Og. Oh no, Innuendo was his last battle. But I just watched the Og battle today at lunch, Cam. I haven't seen it in like 8 years. Sunburn was an amazing event, by the way. Insanely good event. Like, and it looks brilliant. It looks like it's on an August afternoon. You know what I mean? Like, it has that sort of sunny vibe to it. But if you remember, Lego has a whole concept round in the second, so it's all about chess. Because Ogmios is obviously, teaches chess at the school or whatever.
Okay.
Lego ends it on this weird punch, which just made me laugh because it's quite absurd. He's like, yeah, you play chess, but did you ever think that all the pieces were made of ivory? And then it's time. But I Lego again, for me, this is my list. It's who can beat who. and I think Lego could beat Bizzo, and I think Lego is an incredibly talented gentleman.
I forgot about that. Wait, Lego could be Bizzle?
I I think that's a good battle, though. That's a good battle.
Yeah. You soften that cushion as you drop. Bizzle, be right. Lego beat Scoop.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. But again, Cam, like what we said before, we all have our contextual clues, and for me, Q, sorry, and Lego is definitely someone like entrenched in the history of Don't Flop, where Bizzo
Absolutely.
isn't really. I don't mean in a defensive way, but Bizzo sort of came around in 2013, didn't really do much, came back in a Pro
Yeah.
Battles tournament. Lego was there before fucking Mark Grist was there, and that means something to me when I'm ranking my top 50.
The thing I remember from that battle was Ogmios with the Lego piece. That's
Yeah,
the main
yeah.
thing.
When I step on Lego, you feel my pain. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the
good.
main thing that I remember from that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
That's
probably missing something with Lego, like a trick there. But again, most commonly the 2-on-2s. Like it was like the tournament, because if I'm right in saying there's a lot of highlight moments for him on the 2-on-2s with Tenchu.
Oh, they were an amazing team. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of like where I knew him from. And if for that, him being mostly in the two, kind of same as Matter, consistent, but kind of highlights were 2-on-2s. I had to kind
It's
of
the
downgrade
skill
it.
level, really. It's kind of like the outward kind of multi streams that you could kind of tap into, and the absurdity. Again, it's quite prosaic sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just stuff on an individual level that appeals to me. But I
Uh-huh.
feel like Lego has offended you in some way, so I want to hear your pick.
It's okay, right. My pick. And what number are we at there?
We're at
38.
38 now, please.
Pedro.
Ooh,
Mum
okay.
joke
Pedro
time.
at
Your mother
38.
has a tattoo. Her mother has a tattoo
That's,
with the Umbro sign.
I mean, talk to me about Ped at 38. I don't.
Pedro, I think Pedro is again, as you said about Lego, entrenched in UK battle rap. Not only entrenched in Don't Flop, entrenched in UK battle rap. King of the Ronalds, like all the little leagues and whatnot around. Pedro, there was never another Pedro, another great character in battle rap. Pedro, we knew if Pedro was going to be good or not when you seen how he looked. You could see him going, oh, he's looking a bit rough, he's going to freestyle this battle. Like, but Pedro was such an acclaimed character, and you know what, and was dunking on people unintentionally, and where you have these moments like an O'Shea that almost has a similar absurdist style. Pedro made a lot of this stuff up. He just freestyled it, and to
Mhm.
be in these great conversations in battle rap, in because you freestyled half your stuff, there was no expectation for Pedro, but you knew it was going to be funny. And that safety blanket for Pedro, there was only ever one person, him. He's the only person that ever had that blanket. It doesn't matter. Just get him on a stage and he'll say something. And
Mhm.
that means something to me because that's more than just the battle rap. That's the person. That's like it's before the battle happens. You knew what you were getting, just something funny. And you walk onto a battle versus Pedro and you're losing at the start because we're all going, he's going to say something. This guy here, there's going to be a freestyle. Like, I don't know. I don't like the unpredictability of Pedro too.
I mean, yeah. I have Pedro as well, so we'll get to my Pedro pick. But just to say in brief, yeah, I think there's there's very few battlers that I feel like have an actual spark of genius in them, like real, like God-given, like where are these raps coming from? Like Kruger, like Bobby Rex, you know what I mean? Like these people that just have this like insane chemistry in their brain. And Pedro definitely is one of those.
Yeah.
And it was so fun as a fan to sort of know Pedro as, and I got into Battle Up in 2012. This kind of also ran who was sort of on the channel but was off the channel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he battles O'Shea and, he kind of has all these iconic moments. Use your mom's nipples as a spliff pokey and all that kind of, got that kind of world, getting into that. And like, um, so yeah, and I think from then on, I was just a dying the wall Pedro fan, as was
Yeah.
my number 42nd pick. Just going back a little, Crafty. Do you remember in his debut battle versus Ambi, he had the Pedro T-shirt?
No.
He had the Umbro sign, and he's got your something like your
Oh,
mom's got a tattoo of the Umbro sign. Yeah, yeah. So,
that's so
um,
funny. Yeah.
but I think
Like,
like
yeah,
that's one of the most iconic don't flop lines ever. That's top
mhm.
five.
Like
Like,
it's
yeah.
such a highlight moment that
It's
with
the fact that he says it's mum joke time because in Don't Flop, it was mum joke decade. Like it was just what it
uh-huh.
was. And the fact that he sort of verbalized that, I don't know, it's beautiful.
But it was like a setup. It was
It
like a
was,
show
yeah.
to me. It was okay. Here we are. We're ready for mum joke time, and that carried on for years. It was mum joke time for years after that. Like, and that being said, I'd
Yeah.
somewhat agree that it was mum joke decade, but mum joke decade before that was 2011 and 2013. Then I think this 2015 battle that Pedro and O'Shea just randomly again battling, mum joke time comes back. Like he
How hadn't
rejuvenated.
Pedro and O'Shea battled before that time? It's like,
And I have, how funny was his relationship with Philly Swain?
oh yeah, they were
Like,
close.
and if you want to, like Philly, like Pedro was the main star in a battle with O'Shea, Philly Swain, and Disaster.
Yes, he was,
He
yeah.
was the main star because we knew he was going to be great and just freestyle shit, and it was going to work. Like Pedro, like the Mickey Worthless thing, stardom, and I was actually just kicking
Yeah,
it
oh
with
god, yeah. Oh god, yeah.
right at the last event at the Premier Battles one after in the Witherspoons just for fucking hours. Hilarious. Absolutely just a great I had to put him here. Just it just felt right. At least I'm not trying to go with the whole who can beat who can beat what. That legacy for Pedro is so powerful that
Yeah.
it helps a lot of people.
No, no, no,
Whether he
definitely.
beat a lot of people in battles, that's another thing. But Pedro, it never mattered, and he's one of three battle rappers. It doesn't matter if they win or lose.
You're right, you're right. And I think if you were to if you know you to be thrown into a room with 10 strangers, but the only thing you know about them is they know UK battle rap. If you just looked at them and laughed and said Pedro, everyone would know what you were talking about. People just know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's incredibly iconic. And and yeah, Pedro is a fucking
Mm-hmm.
legend, of course. So 37.
Okay.
37, we move on. How long have we been doing this? Like an hour and 20 minutes. So this is taking a little while. we're not like halfway, we're basically halfway through. So it's
I'm
gonna a little
so
while,
glad
yeah.
you said two-parter.
Um,
I'm so glad you said
so
that.
so no, this is going good. So number 37 for me, this guy has 2 million total views and 47 battles. He's Leeds hailing. He is someone that I think just has so much talent as an MC, but also
Mm-hmm.
as a battler, he has this constant kind of mischievous, quite pernicious attack to him, very disciplined. He's the on-beat title champ of Don't Flop. Zen is my 37th pick.
Mm. Zen,
Zen.
unfortunately, was an almost made it guy.
Oh, really?
He was an
Zen's not on your
almost
list.
He's an almost made it
Fair,
guy.
fair,
I could
yeah.
because he was more acclaimed for the on beat stuff. Way more
Mhm.
acclaimed than the on beat than he was off beat. Like he had some okay battles, some that were fine, some that were good to watch, and he was kind of on this build up. Oh, he's becoming an up and coming battle rapper, and then he kind of went on the on beats and the 2-on-2 with dialect, and
Mhm,
kind of kept
mhm.
in that kind of lane. And I would have liked to have seen Zen have like a contender match at Prime Don't Flop to then get a title match. But I don't. I think and please correct me if I'm wrong. It felt that at the time Zen wasn't really ever in that title conversation.
No, no,
Everyone
definitely
was
not.
saying Tony D versus Zen, but they said Tony D versus Dialect, Tony D versus Chris Lee's, Tony D versus Definition. They said a lot of other names, but they never said Zen.
They
And I
did,
think
they
that was
did,
maybe
and I guess my
okay.
placing of Zen here is how much I'm a fan of his on beat stuff, really,
Yeah,
and I think he is superb at that. And I think we're talking about his battle, FOS he battled on Don't Flop and Villain and the Soweto Kinch. Well, that wasn't on beat, but like that kind of Bruce C as well when there was that kind of era
yeah.
happening. Um, so
Now,
again,
now
yeah,
didn't
he's kind of there for a
sorry.
personal reason, but yeah.
This again, please correct me otherwise, because I actually haven't seen the battle in a very long time. Did Maverick not beat Zen?
I I need to rewatch that one. I don't really
I,
have
I'm
much
sure
memory
it
of
was.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it was very like it was something was funny about that battle, and I think Maverick won.
Right.
But that's again, that's a really deep cut into battle rap again.
I
Um,
need to. Yeah, that was at the chalked out King of the Dart.
mm,
There. Yeah, I don't
all
really. I
about
think I
Tony
was
D.
there, but I don't really. I don't really recall. So Zen is my 37th pick. Yours,
Uh-huh.
please, Cam.
Like, oh, again, you guys might
Oh, by the
hear.
way, shout out to the 40 that are watching right now. Appreciate
Wow,
all you motherfuckers. All right, let's go.
again, so for all you 40 watching, thank you for telling me the number live. If you didn't hear his heartbreak before at 40, you might hear it again. A man who was known for scheming, a small, bald man.
Right.
And he was kind of skinny, cheeky chappy, was kind of like the kid on the block. He was so
Sure.
hip hop. Youth Oracle's 37.
Yeah. Am I like a known euphorical stan? I don't.
No, no, I would say like for yourself, because I was going to leave this. I'm going to tell you now,
Yeah.
and I didn't know if I was going to tell before. I actually have like the names that I don't have on my list. I actually made a little 10 of battle rappers that I think you would have.
That's
That
good.
I think that
Okay.
I've not got. That I think you've named a few of them already. I think at the
Well,
end of
to be
tomorrow.
fair, you've heard hundreds of hours of me talk about battle
Yeah,
rap, so you know,
exactly.
like, you know.
Exactly. So I
But
went, well,
yeah,
what
yeah,
would he put
yeah.
in? And
Okay.
I
You'll
made a
have to
little
let me
thing.
know if we don't do any, if there's any left on the list. I want to know what they are. Like,
Absolutely.
but
So
no, euphorical. Yeah, I think that's 37's a good placing for him. It'd be a bit weird for him to be top 15 or something
yeah,
like.
like youth Oracle, I think in the UK, who was really known for scheming before Youth Oracle?
Okay, he did the big scheme versus matter, but was he necessarily known? I don't consider him a schemer as much.
Well, he was someone that would be in the toilet, in the sink, whenever he definitely
Right.
connected lists. He was a lister.
Hmm.
And I know that was a past relic in US battle rap and in other
Of
places,
course, yeah.
but he kind of felt that he had that style that was very easily accessible, and that's quite an important trait in battle rap to be like if I put on a Youth Oracle battle, like someone's going to watch it and go, oh, that's rapping, that's a thing that's going to be they'd understand. But if I put on Loso versus Scotty and Gnome 9 Loso like debut on URL, like they're going to go, what the fuck is this? But you see Youth Oracle and the way he raps, and it's very light but very easy to get into battle rap. And I think Youth Oracle might be one of those battle rappers that people might have seen first. As soon as they seen a Youth Oracle battle, got caught in the mix. They seen a Lunar Sea, they checked someone else, a Youth Oracle in the list. And Youth Oracle, as I said, like he did battle Tony D, didn't he?
Uh, yeah, they did, right? Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Leeds.
Like, but he was
No,
there
no, they
was a
battled
time.
mattered. I think
He
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 did.
was the time where
He
everyone was
battled
saying
Elro and like.
Elro, God, that's a name and a half.
No, he did
And
battle Tony D at the Nottingham event. Yeah.
so he did battle like there was a time where we were wanting him on. He should have been a Dofop champion at some point. Like I don't think that was a title match. That Nottingham thing was a promo thing. But I think when the title was a thing, Tony D was it. Like we were like Youth Oracle was one of these names we were firing for. That's why he got the Roan battle because he
Mhm.
was one of our top guys for a good 2 years, and it was just always in these cards, always having jokes, good pacing, rhythm, people reacting off the setup of how he's rapping, and like Youth Oracle was without saying anything else, Youth Oracle was a great like, and there was a time where he really was that guy, and you had to battle him.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So 36 for me now. And this is someone who, as a battler, I really appreciate, but just as a kind of artist on beat,
Uh
as a
huh.
technician, as someone blessed, inspired from the breath of the divine. I'm putting Bobby Rex at 36.
Oh, I thought you were about to say someone else there.
Mm.
I thought you were about to say someone else. I understand why Bobby Rex is in that position. There was a time with Bobby Rex. Like for me, he's somewhere on the list. We'll get to that when I get to that. Um, there is a part of me that would think there was a period where Bobby Rex, he was just battling, and it wasn't the Bobby Rex we knew from the start. Like he
Hmm.
kind of did a dip for a while, and that dip definitely would have put him a few lists up. I know he's back now, but that was a moment in his career that definitely affected things. So I see as looking over his whole time in battle rap, and I see why he's maybe not where he should be. Like
Yeah, I again,
yeah,
like
the talent,
I
skill
don't
wise, he's one of the best
skill.
that we've
Yeah,
got.
exactly. Skill wise, and that's what I really respect. And I remember that era of Viewpoint when he was in his van and truck doing freestyles to random beats, and it was just like,
It's,
how the
it's so
what is
easy.
happening right now? Like he was just losing his mind on like the Viewpoint 16 challenge or whatever it was. And from then on, I was just like, I really like worship this guy, but this guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Battle
yeah,
wise, again, I don't mean to detract from Bobby, and I know I'll probably get angry at this or whatever, but again, I'm not saying that his battles aren't really ones that I return to. I think there's too much of like,
yeah,
I'm the big dog in the jungle, and I'm big, and I'm a dog, and I'm in the jungle, and it's like, where's the actual sort of punchline? I don't know, but like on beat and his whole persona, like I do
yeah,
rank him, above DK, above Soweto Kinch, above Gris,
yeah.
like this is where I'm
I
putting
would
him.
rank Bobby above all the guys you've got so far.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Um,
what's your 36, please, Cam?
so my 36 there is, you know what? It's funny that you've got one, man. I've got another right here. I've got Briggsy at 36.
Oh, okay,
This is where
Bison.
I was like, Briggsy, when you put him up, I thought he was just a. Because modern Briggsy is a talent, and Briggsy's very veteranized. Veteranized the word? I feel like it is. He's very
Works
much,
kind of.
yeah, I'll make it up. Mom joke time, veteranized. It just sort of felt that Briggsy in the modern era is very much this kind of boss character in how he puts his points across. I would akin to Briggsy versus Moke in particular. The angles that Briggsy used were really good, and although he has like the Koji battle that was unfortunately it is what it is. Like Briggsy has as a battle rapper, he's one of those ones that you learn off of. You learn something when you battle Briggsy. And well, we can't deny that the impact of Premier Battles and his impact in Revival and just being a part of the scene and even the other things like the football match for Exhale and all the
All of
extra
that. Yeah, just
all the extra stuff outside of like that's in battle rap, but outside of battle rap, Briggsy does a fucking lot. So I know this is strict. This is mostly how battles go. I couldn't let that go out of my mind, thinking that he did a lot on the other end. But I think Briggsy right now, I know Visual beat him, but this Briggsy right now is probably the best of his writing right now. And there's Briggsy is like I want to say upper top, like upper mid tier, coming on top tier ish for me personally, just as a battle rapper.
I'm
And
sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because we're gonna get to the comments at the end of the episode.
uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it's Danny Jack on Code Red. He just quoted me. I'm the big dog in the jungle, and I'm a dog, and I'm in the jungle. Bobby Rex. It's funny, but sorry. Yes, we
No,
will
you're
not go to the
totally
comments
fine.
anymore. Briggsy at 36. Yep.
Yeah, no,
I
no. If you interject as
no,
anything
no,
as
no,
you
no,
want.
no. What we'll do is okay, the comments have been hilarious, so we'll go back through at the end because they're
Yeah.
responding to the list in real time. So,
Oh man.
and again, anything again, if you disagree, if you hate, let us know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Please, please.
number 35 now. This is someone. It was interesting because when I put it out on the Battle Resume account about 2 weeks ago that we were going to do this list and blah blah blah, we're going to go live, do all this stuff. Someone commented saying, "I hope you include this guy who I'm about to name." I'm sure you won't. And a few people liked him.
Uh
And
huh.
this is, again, a battle that people hate, but I feel like a battler that has a huge impact, that is really entertaining to watch. And like the greatest Shakespearean villains, is kind of a delight to behold in his officiousness. Number 35, Cammy, I'm going for Chrissy Lees.
Chrissy Lees. Ah! Yo, Chris Lees is on my list too. So
Let's
I'd seen that and
go.
already
Let's
had him on.
go.
He's on my list somewhere, but he's not there. But he's on my list, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
If Chris Lees had the platform that Talks had, then I would say that Chris Lees was the first proper villain in battle rap. Because Chris Lees just he was willing to say the things that people weren't. And it
Yeah.
kind of it almost seemed like making a division between a battle rapper and a league. Because Chris Lees was just if he felt Don't Flop
He was
wasn't doing
Lees
something
until
right.
himself. Like he
Yeah,
was
he was
like,
very much he was like Big K now.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm just here to rap and I'm away. You smelly fucking like I'm away. You're gonna listen to me cook and I'm gone. I love Chris's persona. I love the
Me
competitiveness that
too.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to there and the effort that Chris Lee's put in every battle. And realistically, you say half the shit that he says and the pace that he does one time live, unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
no one could. Like I would say maybe a Bobby Rex, one or two others in the list that we have so far would only be able to do that. There's not many that can actually. The amount of syllables that I know, some of it was a reach, some of it was a stretch, some of it was forced.
But that's just
Like,
part of it. Like he's getting skibbity dibbity. Like
yeah,
it's not
and we
like
all know.
Ogmios, like genius. Like yeah, it depends what sort of battle rap you like, and that's the sort of battle rap I
Mm,
like. I've got a lot of respect for the fact that he won the tournament and went over to Canada and had a
yeah,
really weird battle with Tricky P that clearly no one in the Canadian audience liked him, but fair enough, he got on with it. But I
uh-huh,
love the fact that he teamed up with Yunnan and they were great
yeah,
together, and then they had a great battle against each other,
uh-huh,
and then they
absolutely.
battled Clips and DNA, and Lease put all the effort in, and Yunnan was like, and all this sort of stuff. And it was, I don't know. And then he had this sort of Premier Battles rebirth, and then he was battling
Yeah,
people on Chalked Out. And like, he was like the last remnant, really, of
uh,
the I'm being a cunt in your face, doing
uh,
Maltese type style that I
Chris
found
Lee,
watchable. Like,
Chris Lee's, where are you? If you're listening,
oh,
where
no,
are
no.
you?
He's okay. I did a little bit of research, or I think I saw something online on LinkedIn or whatever. He's like doing well. He's doing like TED Talks or some sort of like he's like a businessman now. Like he's like in a completely different
What?
world. Like, yeah.
Well,
So
if it doesn't affect him, Chris Lee's, we've got Sensa back in 2024. I want Chris Lee's back.
I mean, I would love to have Lease back, but you're 35, please, Cam.
Yeah, yeah, okay. 35 now. This is where I went. Oh, your 45 is a bit high. I've got Scoop.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I've got Scoop because the only, as you said, just a little amount of battles, big gaps in between. I know Scoop has had battles that have been cancelled and moved around and things that have just never happened in the end. I just need more. I want a Scoop. I know he had battled DNA, but I want a nowadays Scoop against another international. Scoop and Real Sick would be in fucking insane. Oh, your thing's a bit skewed.
Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, I've scrolled down, haven't I? My bad.
Um,
Yep.
oh
Yep.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
We got it. We got it.
I would love Scoop in Real Sick, and I think the patterns, the pacing, it would just be a beautiful thing to watch. And it just that we know what you get when you get a Scoop battle,
Scoop
and
versus Real Sick. Let's go. I never even thought of that.
that's a real.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good
One
one. That's a good
five.
one.
We just end the year. If you've not got your main events or anything, bam, that's a one for you. It just seems that like Scoop as a talent, just one of the best to do it.
Yeah.
And always and I think Scoop also does a good job. I don't think he's battled in Don't Flop often now, but he's not done the Renaissance Don't Flop. He's only did the but
Yeah, no, he's just briefly
he can't
back.
put up
He
with
had the
league
Arc battle, the
politics.
Frankie battle. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Obviously there's battle rappers that they'll will admit it themselves that they kind of differ from side to side in league politics, and I'm going to stick with this side. You're over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You're them. Where Scoop didn't. He was always small leagues. He was meant to be on the trenches. He'll go on those chat. He'll go anywhere, and it was very clear that he just battles wherever and has no problems, which is quite a blessing to see, to be honest. But skill wise, like I said, I think if we were counting on, I think Scoop pretty much beats everyone on my list so far. Like if I was to do it that way, but Scoop's
Yeah.
just a great talent in battle rap.
No, that's a good inclusion there. So 34 for me. is someone that you've just mentioned previously, and everything you said I agree with. And I think this guy was an uber talent, really, and a breath of fresh air, and someone who still I can rewatch the battles with and really enjoy because he was such a skillful battler. Euphorical at 34. Yeah,
Hey.
euphorical at 34
Oh,
for me. So I like when this happens when we're like a couple of within each other. It's kind of
mm.
like, um, but yeah, I mean, you kind of said it all really. I guess the one of my great regrets, I don't know, like I lived in Manchester for a year in 2014, 2015. And during that time I went to two Words of Weapons events. But I missed out on a Don't Flop event, and the Don't Flop event was in the Northern Quarter, and it was the headliner was Euphorical versus Elro. And I wish I went to go see that. I just didn't see that for whatever reason. I think that's when Raptor debuted against Young Gun Fusion as well. But so yeah, and I think Euphorical was fantastic there as well. Don't really know where he's gone.
Mm.
Weirdly, actually, oh my god, memory unlocked right in this single second. There was a documentary on the BBC about like child carers in Nottingham, and he was on it, and he was like connected with this kid who was really into like northern soul music from the 60s. And I
Oh,
randomly
wow.
watched it during COVID, and I didn't even realize it was him, but it was him. And the climax of the whole thing was he was moving away to maybe Australia or New Zealand, so they had to sort of discontinue it. But yeah,
Oh.
I forget Euphorical's name right now. It was like Ryan or something. I can't remember his name, but he's an amazing battler, and for me, he's someone that when I was writing my list up, he wasn't necessarily the most viewed guy, but he was someone that I just thought talent wise was
He,
fantastic.
when you were in the know, you knew Euthorical was the guy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So who's your 34?
My 34, I don't know if it's feeling a little cold. He's the other half of the viral battle. Blizzard is 34.
Blizzard is 34.
Blizzard
Very
is
interesting.
34.
Very
Like,
interesting there.
like Blizzard, I think, like I said, we both would agree that Blizzard is would be higher than Mark Grist. I'm assuming that Blizzard's on your list. Um,
Blizzard is on my list, yeah.
yeah, and I there was Blizzard. There was just a big gap, and that's the why he's Blizzard was at his height, and then he went to rap and do all the other things, become a beat producer, all the sort of stuff. That good for him. Totally glad for that. But there's just a part of me that wished he just stayed. I know that that's quite a short answer. He was just there, and then he was gone. And I think he did our
He was.
battle, and he was gone. He was just away. So he just the stint that he had, he just needed to be around for a bit longer.
Well, I mean, I'll just fill in mine now because mine is Blizzard here
Mm.
at 33. So yeah, I completely agree. I think skill wise, he was kind of a notch above. He was kind of like a child prodigy, wasn't he? He was like a wonder kid that sort of came through the academy. Like he just had so much talent dripping off him. He still does,
Yeah.
Brad. Musically now, he's in more of that sort of domain, but he still raps, and he's a fellow Disney head as well. He's obsessed with Disney theme
Hey.
parks. So shout out to
All
Brad
right.
there. But no, in terms of his battling, I mean, apart from like the pamphlet battle where he just goes on about Pamphlet's dead dad a bit too much for me. It's like, chill out, bro. But like, like his Shonda Rhimes battle, which is one of the Blizzard battles that no one talks about. He was terrific in that battle. He really
Yeah.
disarmed her. He was very, very good. But yeah, his sort of that archetype in rap, right? This, or I guess in life, really, the sort of kid at the back of the class with the baseball
Uh-huh.
cap who's smarter than everyone else. Like Blizzard sort of extolled that wonderfully. And
Yeah.
obviously, that's without saying the fact that he is the Noah that led the arc of Don't. You know what I mean? He is
Absolutely.
that guy. But yeah, I think Blizzard around this. Again, it's very interesting to see where we have these kind of synchronous sort of
Uh-huh.
things. So yeah, that's
Youth
where Blizzard is.
Oracle filled the gap that Blizzard left.
Uh, That's what, and they battled as well.
Yeah, I feel that when Blizzard left, Youth Oracle filled the gap for at least another year or so, right before he was done, before Youth Oracle was done. Like we were looking for that. They battled, and Youth Oracle kind of became that. I'm sick with it. I'm ripping it, and the happy-go-lucky hero in
I
battle rap
do,
that
I
Blizzard
do.
was.
Well, respectfully, dude, I just need to take a quick pee break if that's cool. Do you want to take a quick break? We've been going
That's
for like
totally fine. Yeah, if you want me, I can sit and I
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
talk to the people.
Just
I'll
respond,
just
my
say
guy. Yeah,
things
yeah. I'll
because
be
I
back in
can't
one
see the
sec.
chat, so people can laugh at me. You know. Um. Nah, I'm talking. Yeah, you cook. So I think with this list as well, like this has been a very difficult list to do, respectfully. Like, and there's a lot of names that I feel bad for leaving out, and people that in out of our top 50, it's like Christ, they're so good, or they've had such impactful moments, and Verse Tracker for me was a big help, just because I know UK battle rap, I know my battle rap period, and I'm like, Tom is just a fucking knowledge in UK battle rap completely. Like, and I will always say like a jack of all trades, like a master of none. I think it was a Bender quote as well. Like I remember that saying in the battle, but it's one of those things that like I had to go back and check over, and I know Tom has got a lot of these that just off the fucking rip, and that always impresses me about how much he knows. Like I'll got to give Tom all the credit in the fucking world here in this list, and promise people if you're laughing at me, I totally get it. This is so difficult, and I would want people to do more of it. Like I would love someone to go, you shouldn't have had him there. I had him here. This is my list. Make a graphic. Respectfully, Tom will tell you this graphic looks like shit. Like this is just an Excel. You know,
This graphic's terrible. This graphic's
the
so
graphic's
bad.
terrible. Like, make a list and show us it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
it just,
gosh.
it's like I would love to see it, and I'd love and just the reasonings and whatnot. Because I think by the time it gets to the 20, and I actually think now that we've got some of our list, our 20 is going to look a little different.
I
Our 20 is going to
I'll
look
be
different.
surprised. I'll be surprised. And just on my return as well, word to Sean Cray in the chat saying
Mm.
tea break question mark. You've been taking the piss for the last 2 hours, mate.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
you know
so
what we've done this. You know what I've noticed you, Tom. You've done the same thing. Like we've got refreshments. I know you've got a little. I've seen you sipping a little something.
I got loads of, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because the last time just sitting there on the list for like 2.5 hours, they're like, oh, we're just talking.
I mean,
This is
yeah, we were just, yeah, I think I was drinking as well then, but yeah.
oh yeah,
So I
you
want
made
to,
it.
we're back now. We're back to
Okay.
regularly scheduled live streaming. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to know your 33rd pick, please.
33rd list. Don't flop champion right before Quill took it from him. Crafty is 33.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. Crafty at
Crafty
33.
33. The pen has always been underrated. Uh,
Massively.
the the only thing with him, similar to a lot of these guys, always underrated. And the highlight moment is that Ginger Virgin Poet. Like respectfully, that was a
Oh my
highlight
God. I know. It's so like,
before the rain. I'm going to call it a rain because it really was. Shuffle T, Yunnan beating them both for Don't Flop Championship. Like if that was 2017, that's massive.
yeah.
It's a huge undertaking if that was 2017. But things change and whatnot. Like that, like always been like this underrated man in battle rap and whatnot. His talent is all there, and he picked himself up from what was kind of the shitter. I've got a lot of love for Crafty as a
Massively,
person
yeah.
anyway. It's just I think his story in battle rap from where he was to where he is now, that's something that we should be paying more attention to. And I'm looking forward to the next Crafty battle. Crafty needs a big performance, a reward for defending the title versus top tier competition. Because we haven't really seen him. He had Quill, and then
I feel like him versus Gem is probably the obvious one, right? That'd be good.
well, I mean, I know he's James doing a tournament, but would that be like a re-title match, maybe?
Could work. Could work. But
Craft just needs
respectfully,
credit.
Gem might body Craft though.
You know what? The only thing for Craft, and I'm sure Craft's fine with me saying this, like
Craft's
his
fire.
like Gemini is just so. Again, I'm going to say blazing. He's just cool, and cool factor comes into play in battle rap.
Oh, Gem's cool. Gem's cool.
Like just as a shrug the shit off the shoulder. I don't care what you're saying. I'm this man right here. And that would play a part in a similar way that the Raptor thing kind of played a part when Raptor was kind of bullshit, but getting highlight moments. Like
I guess. What about bar for bar though? And that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's like let's take away the coolness, quote unquote. Who outwrites the other? Like,
The
yeah,
performance, like yeah, bar for like Gemini's pacing's way better.
yeah,
Like, there's
yeah. I
things that
think
are,
you're
but
right.
I just think that Kraft is subverted narratives. We would have said that about Shuffle T and Yunnan.
No, yeah, and okay, look, we're not here to debate
No,
hypothetical
no.
battles because we got some battles to get
No,
into.
we
So,
still got this.
um,
Jesus.
I want to hear what you think about this pick because
Yeah.
this is something that people wanted to hear. Again, people who I'd spoke to have been like, I hope this guy's in there. I hope you haven't forgotten this person. And he definitely wasn't someone that I forgot. It was someone that was part of my 50.
Oh.
Um, someone that I wouldn't say is part of like the classic Don't Flop era, but it's definitely part of that kind of 2012 Killer Crop sort of coming through. Maybe I'm a little geographically biased because I know he is, Brum based, but Double L. How do
Double
you
L I
feel?
put off the list.
No! Oh my
Double L I
God.
put off the list. You know,
Got
I double
spoiled.
I had a real thought about Double L and DK.
Yeah, yeah.
That was where that with the last change I made is I had to have the other guys in the list because I felt that was right, and I could
Mm.
have fit Double L somewhere, but there was a bigger picture with DK and Double L again. I love his battle versus Tony D, and there was
Oh,
a
hell yeah.
point where I was like an immature kid who thought that Double L won. I was like 15. It felt like you know what I mean. Like it
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
Double L won because it was more jokes, and I didn't really breaking down the bars and whatnot. Like I was just a little on the immature side. 15. I was 16. I don't lie in there.
Yeah.
But there was a point where he was powerful, and then it ended. And comparing the two, obviously, my opinion, Double L would beat DK like quite handedly.
Mm.
But with the DK pick being in that spot, it was bigger than Double L is like what Double L's impact was versus DK's impact was a little different. That being said, I just watched the Judge Rinder with Double L and Mickey Worthless, which is hilarious. Like you hear Mickey Worthless cackling, and they edit it out because they're
Right.
just having fun. Like it's not a
Yeah,
serious court
yeah,
case
yeah.
at all. They're having fun, and that was pretty because I was going back on Double L yesterday, but
It's yeah.
I love Double L style and also with him and I would say who perfected the grime style better, Double L or Dialect?
Dialect.
They're like so. I kind of thought, right,
But only by a hair. But yeah, like you say, their battle versus Izzy Gibbs and Villain, for example, is an
yes,
extraordinary clash. Double L is part of one of the only teams that ever beat Shovel T and Marlowe. People forget that. So that's
um, God,
admittedly it wasn't their first battle, and it wasn't really,
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. We've said before, haven't we? We've said a few times now, star power,
mm,
charisma that shines through Double L's musicality. But he's also just sort of sardonic nature, like him versus Chris Lees. He's really in
yeah,
a clowning mode, and him and Tony had that weird like energy for a while, and
yeah.
but I don't know. Double L's just one of those guys, really, that just when I think about the
Mm.
history of UK battle rap, I'm a
Double
huge
L
fan of.
is another guy to return. Like it'd be
Yeah.
a double L versus Bobby Rex. So
Ooh.
someone call me because I'm booking some
Yeah,
good
you're going crazy right
fire.
now. Yeah, that's fire. That's
That has
fire.
a little spice to it, I'd say. Yeah, like Double L is. I would love to see him and what battle rap is after 2015. I would like to see
Mm.
how he dealt with newer styles, punchliners. How does he deal with them? Oh no, Tony D was sort of that, but that was the only time he ever dealt with that. And that was a while before Tony.
Yeah.
Battle rap got a lot more complicated in the years to come. And Tony D didn't have to do as much as he would have to do now to win a lot of battles. Just Tony D is just such a fucking great battle rapper that
Oh,
he does.
he's. I mean, yeah.
I know,
It's
I know.
well,
So like
we'll get to Tony. But what's your 30 second?
30 seconds. He just came back versus Shuffle Liverpool. Harry Baker.
Interesting. Interesting.
Harry
Okay.
Baker is my
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
second. Harry Baker is a talent, absolutely. Is
Of course.
a great poet, a great battle rapper. Um, I would always say that you want his performance more, but Harry Baker is one of those guys that the way that he raps like is so. I'd say it's different, like Ogmios different, but it's so subtle in how his angles work, how he goes against people. Like he had like I know Charlie Clips did his thing, but like I believe I had Harry Baker winning that because Harry Baker just had creativeness in creative angles and was able and going the next mile for a concept. He was one of those that really mastered concepts to me. And looking over like the rest of the
Sorry, just to interrupt you, my guy, because again, like Blizzard, I actually have Harry as my 31st pick.
league.
So yeah, great minds in that. But
Yeah, like it just seemed like a fitting place, and him with being so creative and the battles that he did have, he was just a great battle rapper. I'm
no,
actually
he is.
blanking out on the battles that he had beyond Charlie Clips, which is
No, no,
mental.
I mean, no, he's got so many. And,
Like,
it's so funny, really, because I mentioned him to this, on the episode about our resume we did. And I should say, by the way, as a shameless self plug, I'm pretty sure 90% of the people you can see right now on your screen, I've got BRR episodes with. So definitely go back and listen to all
let's
those
go.
episodes.
That's because he's
But
been here for years.
yeah, my guy. But I used to go to university in Liverpool, and there was the Anglican Cathedral there on the hill. And there was a poster there, and it was "Don't flop, battle rapper is performing on Saturday night." And I was like, "Who's this?" And it was Harry Baker, and that led me to watch a
Wow.
few of his battles, and then eventually see him. And then there was this whole thing, and whatever, got into it. But yeah, I can only concur really because I think I did a bit of spoken word, and I'm not comparing myself to Harry in the slightest, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
I did a bit of spoken word, and then I thought I could do a bit of battling, and there's
Ah,
quite a few people, what does Springsteen say? The highway's littered with broken heroes. Like there's your Simon Moles, there's your Tom Quees, there's your
yeah.
whoever else sort of thing. There's
The
millions of us,
path,
but
the path to
Harry is like
hell
the
paved with the best
yeah,
intentions.
yeah, for sure. But Harry is like the apotheosis of like how this goes right and how you combine poetry and battle rap into this kind of synthetic form.
Yeah,
And he's extraordinary and he doesn't really go for the gut. He doesn't really curse or he doesn't really kind of, he's always about the kind of silliness, really, and the kind of
yeah.
compactness of that. And I think it's just a really kind of enviable set of skills that he has on display when he battles.
One of the best battle rappers to keep it light.
Yeah.
Like that's a child. Like this sounds like a diss, but it's not a child-friendly battle rapper. Him, Youth Oracle, and a few others. Child-friendly battle
I don't
rappers.
think Oracle's that job. I think he might have
It's a
said it
part.
was.
I mean, that's maybe my image of Youth Oracle being
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay, okay. Well, he did. Yeah, he held that kid, as I said in the iPlayer thing. But your 33rd, please, Cam.
Said the kid in the iPad and then just skip past it.
iPlayer. What's the
So
31st
my
pick, please?
my 31, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
31 Rivers.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That
Rivers
makes a lot
is
of
my
sense.
31. I think between him, Tally, and a few others, like they've transcended the gift of the gab era, the no always chat into the Premier battles and don't flops and really spread their wings around. That at a time where respectfully don't flop Premier battles, maybe not Premier battles so much, but don't flop was a particular style, a particular way. King of the Ronalds, a particular way, but it took these guys coming in saying, no, we're doing this and being so efficient in the styles that they have to then bring in more people. And I'll always put credit to that. And plus, Rivers, the Yunnan battle, that was such a big change. He was the first Premier Battles champion, if I'm correct in saying, because there was the whole robbery situation, not like a robbery, but there was a whole, he didn't battle Briggsy or his opponent dipped out like
Right, right, right. Yeah.
2018. There was a whole drama to that. And like in considering where Rivers is, he was a face in battle rap in 2018. Like he was like, oh, we need
Mhm.
him more battles, we need to push him, and that's off his own talent. And just Rivers has just got a great style, and I just need to see more of him. But I think 31's a good spot for him personally.
Yeah, I think 31 makes sense. And as I'm sure you felt as well, Cam, it's always nice to see the other person include one of your picks a little later on. You're like, Yeah, maybe they should have been there. Maybe
Yeah,
they should have been there. But
now the list is fleshed out a bit more.
yeah.
We do have similar names, just in different areas for a
Yeah,
lot of
we
them.
do. And, a prime example of that is my pick for 30.
Oh,
You
here we
had
go.
him for 38. Pedro. I got Pedro
Hey.
at 30 there. I got Pedro at 30. I mean, we sort of spoke about him before. I think he
Hmm.
really is a kind of, inspired, one of a kind of mind. Um, I feel like he has a dark side. I'm not trying to like, shame the guy or whatever, but I feel like he can go off the deep end a little bit and he can be a little inconsistent. But I think
You
at
can
his best, when
you
he's
can't
kind of
get
in this
ENC.
fervent of, like I would have loved to have seen in some multiverse reality cam Pedro in the WRCs. You know what I mean? Like I would have this sort of thing. It's like these things that are robbed from
Yeah.
us. So I would have said that, but not too much to add on what we already said back when we spoke about it a little bit before. But
Why are we
Pedro had to
not
be on my
doing that?
list. Yeah, had to.
Why are we not doing that? Why is I remember Ark was talking about that on the last event to have a little freestyle thing. Why what realistically Pedro in that sort of environment, like the jump off came back briefly and Caustic won it somehow. Uh,
Oh yeah, the spin the mic like Dina
where's Pedro?
Brass. Like yeah,
Pedro needed to be there because I don't
yeah.
know if Caustic can beat Pedro in any freestyle. Respectfully, I like Caustic's a great guy and a good battle rapper, very good battle rapper, but freestyling, Pedro kicks his fucking ass.
Close, it's close. Yeah,
Um, how many's in the live right now?
we got 40 in the live.
You guys ready for another bomb?
And
Are
we're
you
going to
ready for
respond.
another
By the
bomb?
way, everyone in the live who's listening right now, let us know what you think of our lists and what is the worst picks in our list and
Mm,
what you disagree with. But
before we do it,
Cammy, we've only got you've got 6. I've got 5 picks left for this episode. What's your 30th, please?
my 30th, I'm going to do it. Henshu is 30.
It's not shocking to me.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
No, it's not. It's not. But I appreciate what you'd think it would be. But
Like, I think I'm
Pen,
glad. I'm
respectfully,
the wrong
quite
answers about
like
that.
I won't. I think unlike a lot of the battlers we spoke about today, Tenshu's comeback wasn't bad, but I don't think it's necessarily like Lego's comeback where it's like it really bolsters his ranking. I think it's Tenshu's more like what he was, right?
I don't think Tenchu's comeback was good.
No, it wasn't
I
great.
think the
Copyright in there.
copyright battle.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm good.
I
Like
agree.
I actually think that dampened his run. Like at
Yeah.
the big cannon battle, that was good. 2-on-2s and I would never like as I've said for a lot of these guys, Matter and a few others that were like, okay, you were kind of part of a 2-on-2 more than anything else, like in your peak. That like Tenchu's impact was felt.
Oh
That
yeah.
was like
Oh yeah.
Tenchu again,
He was
right
respected.
before
Yeah.
if Tenchu was around after 2012, like when after the fourth birthday era, because that was like a new era afterwards, he would have been kicking shit. He would have been kicking shit, but he kind of left as the prime started. But he still had that hyper, and I'm surprised that we never got like a Tenchu versus Blizzard or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, we could have easily have got something like that. Just saying, oh, these guys get big views. Boom, put them
There
together.
was
But I didn't.
no, no. You mentioned that before, but you're so right. There was almost like an old guard that was leaving as the kind of lunar crop came in. Like
Yeah,
there was some spillover, but for the most part, yeah, they didn't really interact. But
didn't really interact like that. And
no,
I would say like with Tenchu, this sounds bad, and I'm sure I'll shake his hand and tell him that he's a great battle rapper anyway. Like, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
was never the biggest fan of his style. Like, I think I said it before. Like, I think it was like say something, suck your teeth, wait. Say something, suck your teeth, wait. And I wasn't a big fan of that. Like as a kid growing up, that just didn't resonate with me. I got very bored of it very easily.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
It's
giving
just
him the
personal.
due respect.
It's literally it's how it affects your soul, isn't it? And it's
Mhm.
everyone's different. So yeah, no, I get that for
I
sure.
had to put him in because his
Yeah.
impact is impactful. It's just yeah, I couldn't put him any higher than the other guys that we've got here. Just it just felt right that he's somewhere, but not anything above top 20 for sure.
So we get to my 29th pick now. And this is a guy who was so important early on in Don't Flop and someone who has gone on to great success outside of battle rap. but who pervade a certain style of a kind of ironic, sarcastic approach that I think has aged oddly well, actually. And I like his very kind of theatrical delivery. Um, 29 for me, Cam, definition.
Oh, and like shout out Definition and what
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing now. Like I subscribed to the channel before I
Oh no,
quite
no, no.
realized
Me
him.
and Def did a mini series before he got famous, and I'm so bitter about it. But no, he's heavy spoilers. He's doing amazing. He's doing
Oh,
amazing.
Christ,
Yeah.
please, heavy spoiler, subscribe to that channel. Is it not like 1 million subscribers now?
It's something mad. It's something
He's mad. Like
insanely huge. Yeah.
his active full time job has merch, has editors. Like he's made a fucking empire
He has.
of
He has.
of
It's
being a
incredible.
fan of geek stuff, comic stuff, all like stuff that we enjoy. Like he's become an
Yeah,
actual.
he has. He has. I'm so like I want to say proud, but I don't mean it in a condescending way. But you know what I mean? We're just happy for a
Yeah.
friend. Like
Oh,
it's
again,
like
like Bruce C. We're rooting
insane.
for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Bruce sees the same thing. Yeah.
And it's like I think his battles are now back to being normal. I think because they were
Yeah,
unlistenable
because
for a while.
I think he was because he was a consistent guest on Battle Rap Resonate early on. Like we did
Yeah,
the episode, I think like Battle Rap Resonate 20 or something, and I think he obviously it sort of showed the seeds of what he would become because he really enjoyed it, and like I think he wanted to do a few more episodes because he just enjoyed sort of chatting about stuff or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, I think he was a teacher for a bit and he had to take them down. But obviously, when you're doing
Oh,
YouTube,
was he a teacher?
who
I
cares?
I thought it's because he was starting the YouTube channel.
I don't think it had any impact on
Because it
heavy
was like,
spoilers, but yeah.
right, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Still, like,
Mm,
because you know what, Definition used to say the wildest thing. He just
hmm.
said the wildest
Oh
things.
yeah, the
Definition was like
Wikipedia,
Chris
like
Reed in a
yeah.
way. Like oh, your list is off again.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that.
No,
Go
don't
on,
worry,
go
man.
on.
I'll keep an eye on that.
All right,
But
I
his
appreciate. Yeah.
appreciate you, my guy. But Definition was very much he'll just say the most disrespectful thing. Like he would go that far. The DK stuff. I feel like he did something quite crazy versus Tony D that the crowd didn't quite connect with. Like
Hmm.
Anthony. It was something I can't remember the
Yeah,
context of
yeah,
it.
no, no. When he was sort of going on about that was a weird match that just was
That
a bit of
was
an
weird, but
yeah
it was
odd
it was
style
rightfully
clash.
deserved. Like Definition, that was the next contender after O'Shea to me.
No,
That
for
was the
sure.
next.
No, 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 absolutely for sure. And I feel like he sort of clashed with everyone else. He sort of had a very individual style that
Hmm.
didn't maybe make for the best one-on-one battles, but
Yeah.
he was still very entertaining. I think in a lot of the freestyle battles, he was great versus Villain and Carlos versus Zen and Chris Lees. I can't
Uh
remember
huh.
who he was teamed up against, but yeah,
And
Def is done with battle rap, obviously for
beat
good.
Thesaurus. I think when he beat Thesaurus, he went, "I'm good now."
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like,
yeah. He beat
like
Thesaurus as well.
he beat Thesaurus, and that was quite strange to see him back. That felt like a long period away to come back. But you know what? If someone said to me, "Here, you're going to go get flown out to Canada for a battle," yeah, all right.
Well, he
Alan
battled
Barnes,
DNA. I think that was his last clash, and that was a bit of a weird one as well.
you forgot about DNA. Holy shit!
On the 8th birthday, yeah.
Holy
So,
shit.
but yeah, I'm putting definition there at 29. What's your 29th?
My 29. I've got a feeling this guy's probably going to be in like your under 15. Pause. That's wild. Uh, I'm pausing for like a wild non-stroke. That's fucking ridiculous. Um,
Yeah, I didn't
um,
even hear it, my guy, but like,
29. I feel like I'm gonna have to make him a do it. Ogmios 29
oh, okay. He doesn't break the top 25. That's
does not
interesting.
break the top
No.
25.
So
I
what
think
is
there's a
yeah.
lot of people with Ogmios' style that I think would beat him now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people for the and I worry. I wonder. Like, I mean, the Nils Skill battle was just a snore fest, right? I just
Oh,
wonder
horrible,
that
yeah.
if Ogmios' style and maybe he'll admit it at what point was it so slow, like deliberately all the time, or was he then forgetting the line to go to the next line?
I never felt that. I never
I
felt he was trying to tread water. I know what you're saying because he was very slow, but I
it,
feel like word to Pink Floyd, David
Mhm.
Gilmour, their lead guitar player, he's very slow, but he's very deliberate. I felt like Ogmios was like that for me.
It's and I understand that. Like if you're going at a pace that is like of a slower style, but you have to then nail it every single time. There's been battles that I've seen from him before where I feel like the timing's a little off for
Mm.
the pace that he's trying to do, because when a Chris Lee's is higgity biggity 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 biggity, right? If he's doing all of that and it's a pace moment, because this is where the line rhymes, this is where the next one. Ogmios kind of had to pause and re-go at the same time in a way that it was succinct, but sometimes it would just be a little too long of a pause.
Okay,
Put things off
he's
rhythm.
idiosyncratic. No, he is, but like you've got
Wait,
him
what?
at number
Say that
29.
word again. Say that.
Idiosyncratic.
What does that mean?
It basically means that he has his kind of individual qualities that are unique to him. And
Okay.
he is this kind of slow guy, like you say, but he's still number 29 for you, Cam. So like, why do you rank him so highly?
So I rank him highly enough because I understand his style and the impact that he had in where he became a house favorite. He became one of these guys that was always, to this day, people are looking for Ogmios to battle. To this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so whatever he had done, taking my biases out of it, was impactful to a lot of people. Like, Ogmios takes a battle now, and that gets above average UK battle rap views because Ogmios
Definitely.
he was connected to a lot of people, like a lot of fans. He was connected to a lot of them in his style, and that people really appreciated Ogmios. So I took my biases out and had to put him in somewhere. If I really wanted to be biased, I may have probably put him at 34, maybe. But I have to understand that Ogmios is he's one of those that would be a Hall of Famer at some point. In if UK Battle Rap had a Hall of Fame, like he would be somewhere, but it would be after a good amount of people.
I yeah, I mean, Og is obviously on my list.
Uh-huh.
We will see if he's within this edition or not.
Mm.
But it is insane to see the ascent of Og because he hasn't battled for a long time. But he did his whole. Did you ever see his stuff where he was cycling in London? He had his GoPro camera and he was
No,
commenting. Do you not see any of that stuff? Well,
no,
it became quite popular during lockdown, and I believe the BBC put out an iPlayer. And then Alexei Sale, that people might be familiar with, the legendary Scouse comedian and writer and actor, they've collaborated on certain things. Ogmios and he, so that is amazing to see and inspiriting to see.
wow, okay.
But we move on, Cam, and again we have an
Mhm.
overlap here. So you put this guy at 41, I put him at 28. Matter.
Oh, okay.
I think
Let's break it down.
well, I think the consistency is overpowering. Obviously the partnership with Luna. For me
Uh-huh.
personally, he's in my all-time favorite Don't Flop battle, which is Soul versus Matter, the original. I think all three rounds of his are immaculate in that
Yeah,
battle.
I
I think
remember you saying that.
yeah, that is that. You know what's weird? It's like it's been my favorite battle since I started watching battle rap. Like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? I've never really changed my mind on it, and that's just me. Like, I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else should be, but just for me, it's just like an amazing battle. And I've even remembered all the sort of audience interactions and the way Chronicle's face looks when a bar drops, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like scored into my memory.
Yeah.
But again, I don't in the past, we've done like Premier Battles previews and stuff, and we've sort of clowned on Matter a little bit. I remember in particular with like the big cannon battle, we were just saying how boring Matter is. And Matter can be sort of boring, but he can be sort of hilarious. And I think when he's given the right platform, like in the Soul battle, and especially
Yeah.
in the Danny Jack battle, which occurred after the whole Black Lives Matter. What I'm not going to pass
Yeah,
any
yeah,
judgment on
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
that whole incident I think Mata clowned him expertly, really. And
Uh-huh.
I think Mata is a genuine talent, really. And I appreciate he's never really changed. He's
Yeah,
always been Mata.
that's
You
it.
know,
He's
he's
just
sort
never
of
changed. Like,
no,
credit to him, he's never changed. He's kept the same.
yeah.
Like, it's not trajectory. That's not the word, because trajectory tells us he's going up the way. He's kept the same level of consistency, which is credited to him. But you are right. This if he's given like a golden goose, if he's able to lay the golden eggs, if he's able to have that angle that he can use, just low pesci ball sweat.
Yeah.
Like if he has that, then he can. You can give him an angle, and he has good material around it.
So what about your 28th?
28. I actually don't know if he's Scouse or not. I always forget. And I think he's come back in Liverpool as well, or maybe I'm wrong. Calcium Kid.
Okay, yeah.
Like I don't know if he's coming back over. I can't remember. I feel like maybe it was Pamphlet was the one that I was thinking of, and I've made it up. The Calcium Kid's back, but
I don't know. But I'm not like the freshest on the info. So
fair. Like I said, I might have made it up. Calcium Kid is just so unorthodox that you just, similar to Pedro, you never knew what he was going to say. And people were just anticipating that he says something. And he has amazing moments. That O'Shea Calcium Kid, amazing moment. He's had other battles, just some great moments. And then there's a little duds here and there. But again, taking my bias out of it, I know he's such a sought-after battle rapper. Everyone wants to see him. I think Calcium and Most Prob was quite a good one. That was a dub scandal battle.
yes,
it was a dub scandal. Yeah, that was meant to be a big event, and then if the snow hit or something, and Kofi and that did a big
oh my god,
mental stuff. So, but Calcium Kid is one of these fan favorites. I've literally the last event and the events I've been before. If I see a new fan or I just happen to talk to someone, I would ask them about battles they go to, and they always tell me Calcium Kid. Calcium Kid is one of those that's ingrained in so many fans, like Rolodex of favorite battle rappers, that if you ask him that question, he's in there somewhere. You just got to spin it enough. He's always in their mind.
Very true.
Whether he got the most views, whether he got everything out, like all the acclaim, he was in everyone wanted to see him. And it just happened to be that he just never got all the plates. I don't know what internationals that he got though. Like I put him in there
with that Big T.
Was that the one that he got?
Yeah, he battled Big T.
Yes, because I knew he had something, but he'd be a good one to return if he hasn't already.
No, he would be, and I am a big fan of him. He's not in my top 50, I will say. He did fall by the wayside. But I think battle rap is so preference based, right? And I find him funny, but like his sort of funny isn't like, I don't know, it just doesn't quite gel with me. And I know people will be smashing their keyboards and that. I don't know. I'm not saying he's bad. Like I do find him hilarious, but I just kind of, I don't know. I couldn't find space for him on my 50. But I'm glad to have him included in one of our lists. So 27 now. We're down to the last 4 picks, Cam. We're we're approaching the 2.5 hour mark here. So
oh my god.
27 for me is a young Oxford boy.
Okay.
Who made a lot of noise in the scene and then sort of disappeared. He wasn't necessarily peddling anything new, but the consistency and the skill level and the sardonic nature of his battle, rap career, of his battle rapping, really won me over and a lot of other people over. I'm going with Juan.
I knew Juan was going to. Juan is a name I knew was going to be on your list that I don't have. Juan was one of those.
Oh, you don't?
He didn't make the chopping block. Wow. He didn't make it. He just. It just when he had the Uno battle and what was Sleepy, the big battle? What was the big battle that he had before the Uno battle? Because he had a big battle that led to the Uno one right after.
He had the
he had
Soul Jitsu, was he?
It was on a big stage and he had like one of the best performances.
No, he beat Sleepy G to be like newcomer of the year.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, and he clowned him to death. It was really expert, but he probably shouldn't have beat Vocab, but he did in Fiddlers. And then he had the Soul Jitsu battle. And again, I know it's the droll white guy who's not quite understanding things but knows it all. Like, I understand that archetype. But
Yeah.
again, when I revisit his battles, I actually think I was ready to hate him when I was watching them the other week.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, these are actually really funny. Like, this guy's like, his pace is expert, and he kind of
Uh-huh.
digested all the scene that had come before him. And again, I'm not, he's not the greatest battler of all time. Well, he's 27th according to me. But again, it's on who can beat who, and I think he's a
Now,
quite a lethal competitor.
I'm 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 half joking when I say this. Did Juan walk for reverse to run?
That's wild. Yeah, maybe,
Like I
maybe.
would love to see that one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I like that.
Like Juan is a talent. He is a great battle rapper. I just when we talk highlight moments, because now we're creeping on 25s and under, and it was just sort of going, right, where do we place these people now? And Juan, going over like his battles and whatnot, looking at the resume, and I needed something more. I needed something more. Everyone, I think he battled Big T. I think everyone battled Big T.
He had a great battle about O'Shea, Big J, Sharon. Like, he had some big names on the
Sharon, that's the one
resume.
I'm thinking of. He battled Sharon. That was the big one that he had.
Horrible, horrible clash. Yeah, I mean, as in he, yeah,
That
he
was the
booked
big.
well.
I remember that, and you know what? I think Juan could come back because the Sark probably. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I think out of your list, the most sarcastic battle rapper. There was a real sarcasm to him that really
But the
worked.
thing is, though, he was 19. Like, they just
That's
are
actually a good point.
sarcastic. Like, that's what I kind of like about him. That's what I appreciate about him.
Yeah,
He was this annoyed teenager who had just finished sixth form. He bodied loads of people and then he fucked off. Like, he didn't like. That's
yeah.
kind of like there's part of that like meteoric. And also, we mentioned copyright before with that
Mm-hmm.
not very good battle against Tenshu. So when Copyright was in England, Don't Flop after that event did a whole like Don't Flop tour of the UK. And I was living in Oxford at the time, and they hit Oxford in 2016. And I went to this live event where Copyright did an event. I did a gig, and Juan did like a set of his music, and it was like quite good
Wow.
actually. Like,
Hey,
so I don't know. Again, it's my list. I know a
yeah,
lot of people like yourself wouldn't have included him at all, but I really think he embarrassed a lot of guys. Like,
yeah.
I
And
think he
his
actually he beat
age.
these people, and not cheap wins either. Like, he really
Mm,
wrote well. Like,
yeah, that's one thing I hadn't like. Only as you said, Juan and his age. It's the only time I've really thought about. Okay, that's a. Some of these
mhm,
guys were young
mhm.
doing this, and Juan maybe seemed like he seemed older in his style. There's guys that have younger styles. Maybe that's what I mean when I say hero rap with euphorical. He felt like he had a younger style,
Yep.
where Juan had an old like he not
Yeah, he knew it.
wise, but he knew what he was doing a lot more. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah,
That's
so I mean, again, this is why it's fun to do these lists, just to sort of, like, angles on battlers you haven't considered. So, Cammy, your penultimate pick, please, for tonight,
so
the
I couldn't
27th.
have had a total opposite to Juan. I was chuckling to myself as you were saying it, like looking at my list. My 27, you could put these guys in a room. They would never be in a room together. They're
Mm.
totally different. My 27 is Tally.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Tally is my 27 because Tally, as the same credit that I give Rivers, Tally being like before Tally entered. You slid again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tally has then his style. Who had his style before he came in? Like P Soldier came at the same time as him, maybe. I'm just thinking like P Soldier's a name there.
Mm.
But Tally being in the tournament versus like Bizzo and being in the mix for a long time, had like summer standard battles. Like he was in the mix with his own original style that was akin to what he was going through in life. Like you
Mm.
knew what Tally was about when he came into to Don't Flop, and and he like working on the gift of the gab and no loose chat being a part of that, like producing one of the few UK battle rappers at this point to face Shotty Horror. And this is
True.
the modern Shotty Horror, not the Shotty Horror in Don't Flop.
Yeah, this is the
You know what I mean?
yeah
The modern
the
Shotty, the
soft
Shotty
pro
Horror that,
like yeah
yeah,
like
that is so above everyone.
it's just
You
godly.
know, I say above everyone. I'm not going to
No, but
expose the
I
whole
mean,
list
yeah,
like that.
shot. He's like, yeah. I mean,
He's up there. Let's say
he's
that. I'm not.
he's amazing. Yeah, he's
'Cause
amazing.
we'll talk about that at the time. He's so above
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the stardom. He's so above that there's a reason why Tally had to be the main face when they did the No Loose Chat versus Premier Battles. There was a reason because Tally is a veteran, and
Tally got
Tally
bodied though.
that but that's Shotty Horror.
Yeah,
Like
but
like
like
like like shot like
Fingers did better. Like
almost like who really doesn't get bodied apart maybe Scoop in my list anyway.
Shuffle,
Scoop, sorry.
Shuffle.
But apart from this list right now, like, I'm looking at this list.
All
You know
right.
what I mean? We'll get the shuffle and everything, right? Like at some like
Oh,
maybe not
okay.
this
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
looking at the list that we have currently, who doesn't get bodied? Like
It's so weird looking at the list and like your brain is like Harry Baker versus Shotty. It might
mm,
be great. I
it
don't
might
know.
be
It
great.
might be the worst battle ever, but it might be great. But
Like
um,
maybe a
okay,
Scoop.
okay. No, I hear you. I hear you.
You know
It's a
what I'm
good
saying?
point.
Like a
It's a good
lot of
point.
people do get bodied by Shotty Horror when
Yeah, yeah,
Shotty
yeah. I
Horror.
mean, no, but it's like it's Shotty. Like it's like one of the like end bosses. Like I get
Yeah,
it.
right.
So we get to our final pick because we are doing this over 2 nights. So, and I
Uh-huh.
think this was the right decision because obviously we've been speaking for a long time.
Yeah.
That yeah, we'll get into 25 to 1 tomorrow. But in terms of our top 25, sorry, 50s 26, our kind of initial 25, uh, I am going to go, Cam, with a name we haven't mentioned yet for 26. An absolutely hilarious battler. I think a battler that can almost work out of time. I think if people didn't know battle rap and they heard this guy's writing, they would find it funny because he is just, he disassembles things brilliantly. And he was a very, he's early in the scene, but he came back every now and then and people are just in awe of this guy. I'm putting Wizard at 26.
Oh, Wizard. I
Wizard. I've
this
misspelled in
is
there, but Wizard.
sorry for me. I had the chopping block and I went skirt. I,
No, Wiz. Big
I'm
Wiz.
sorry. It's Wiz and Sid, isn't it?
Oh, still. You use scissors on Wizard, basically. You got them both out
Like
of there.
maybe, but
That's
I know
crazy.
Wiz had his own battles and whatnot, and they were good. But I did chop. Again, the 2-on-2. Can you hold your own? Yes, he can hold his own, but then going through the other metrics and whatnot, it just didn't fit for me. I like his style. He had some great highlight moments for sure. Like, but there's people that aren't on the list that also had them highlight. Zen and a few others that didn't have, they just didn't make it either. But I could respect that Wizard is on the list though for sure. Like, and I'm glad that he's on your list because I can't remember if he was one that I put on your list. I'd have to check it.
I really need to see that list.
Oh
And
yeah, just at the
yeah, he
end of
doesn't
tomorrow, we'll laugh about it.
he doesn't really have like quote unquote many modern battles. And when I say modern, I mean like from 2012 to 2016. You know what I mean? Like kind of that
Uh,
era of Don't Flop, post Chris, post Luna, post Blizzard. I think most people refer to like the Ognos battle and stuff like that, getting bare head against the lodge. What is it? Getting bare head against the wall like a lodge or whatever. I can't
yeah,
remember from the line. But he just really makes me laugh. Like he's
uh,
he's he's someone's humor that chimes with my own. And I think he's very wink wink about it. Like it's very kind of inside baseball battle rap. It's like I'm sort of, I'm leaning on these cliches that we all sort of know are there. And
the
I'm
E Barrow style.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. And I'm rinsing
E
them for all their
Barrow
worth.
thing.
But he's also a really funny guy. He's a huge producer. And
Uh,
including him at this spot actually is reminding me that he might be the only battler. I don't want to put his stuff on Front Street right now, but he might be one of the only battlers that's got in touch with me and said, I'd like to come on the show. So I obviously BRR's on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but number one on my list is to speak to Wizard. Like Wizard is one of the
oh,
guys that I
that's
just,
so
for
sick.
whatever reason, couldn't get hold of. So, I am a giant fan of Wizard. Obviously, they had the Shovel T battle. They had the DNA and Cortez battle as well. We
Uh-huh.
are sort of speaking Wizard within 2-on-2 terms, so I know that isn't
Yeah.
quite fair because obviously this is as well. But Wizard is my 26 Cam. So your final pick, please.
This one, it's tough for me to say because I'm looking at my list for tomorrow because I've written it down. I'm
Yep.
confirmed. I'm not changing it. This is the list. My 26. I'm looking at 25 going. Them two could have changed. My 26 is Koji.
Ooh, okay. Koj not making day two. That's crazy.
And Koji, skill wise, let me make sure it's clear because he will get him for that. Koji, skill wise, top 10, top 15. Absolutely. But looking over at his battles and whatnot, there was a point where he was one of the best, then he stopped, then he came back to Premier Battles, then the Mike P thing happened, which however that went was a
Right,
thing.
right, right.
And then it was a lot of build up, stop, build up, stop. And the Raptor first time where it was a disaster as well. And now he's sort of back. And I love. By the way, shout out the one a day till 100K challenge because that's
Oh my
fucking.
God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. Love that.
And it's all smooth. It's all fucking incredible stuff that
So
he's
good.
doing.
So talented.
It's and like I've even got as my intro. Like one of them is my intro because it fitted my intro for videos and whatnot. And but it's just because everything is stop, start, stop, start. And if he's here, and then I just want to see him more battles now and keep being around because he's come back and is rejuvenated. I know the real sick choke in the first, but he fought back from that and he's just been he is one of the best for a reason, but because he had all this build up, stop, build up, stop, build up, I need him to what would it call pick from the fruits of his labor because he hasn't had a
Mm.
chance to do that yet because
I
he's
mean,
always putting in work.
Koj is in my top 25.
Mm.
So I think this is let me have a look at your list now. Yeah, this is the only person that you've put in your day two that I put in my day one or vice versa. So that is
Right.
interesting.
But he was
But
almost there. The first
yeah,
name
yeah,
that
no, I mean, it's it's so difficult to do. So just to recap, finally, so let's go through. For number 50, I have Mickey. Cammy has Mickey. Number
uh-huh.
49, I had Big J. Cammy has Bowski. I have
Mm-hmm.
Briggsy for 48. You have Mackenzie. I have
Mm-hmm.
Mark Grist for 47. You
Mm-hmm.
have Brucey for 47. Soweto Kinship 46. You have Hulk.
Uh-huh.
I have Scoop at 45. You have Most Prob. We got DK at 44, Canella at 44. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess people look at this, you can work out now who's not going to be in either's top 25, basically.
He could do.
Uh,
But there's going to be
well,
changes.
I think for the
Like there's
most
not
part,
changes. But there's going to be different names now because looking at there's a few that
the
are on
thing
my
is though,
next day that
Cam,
I'm like, ooh.
I think if we asked 100 battle rap heads in the UK to name their top 25, I think most of them wouldn't be on this list.
Yeah.
I think most of them, everyone knows the battlers we haven't mentioned yet. I think, we haven't got to these certain people yet. So
Uh-huh.
you can see the list, but I don't know, Cam. Do you wanna just hang out for a sec? Do you wanna look back at this?
Yeah.
I could throw the I was thinking I can throw a little invite into the chat if anyone wants to hop up and like have a go at us and shit.
Cook us. If you want to cook us, cook us.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at your list there. Like I think, like I said, like Bobby Rex, we'll discuss that. Like, and there's a few names there looking across that, like Scoop, man, Scoop is so high for you. That one threw me for a loop. But I know
No, but we're
Pav's got
talking the
hurt.
top 50 battlers of all time. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like, there's no disrespect to Scoop, but I'm just talking like for me to get to the top tiers of that, you've got to really be like one of the greatest ever. Like,
Yeah, and that's and anything under the top 25 are some of the greatest ever, which is why it hurt me to put Koji at 26. It hurt me.
so Cam, as we wait for people to join us, I'm just gonna go back through the live chat.
Uh huh.
Let's see what people
Well, have a
said.
look through it. I need to go to the toilet myself because I'm
Oh no,
drank
no,
a
you go, my
I
guy,
think I
you
broke
go,
the seal.
you go. So we are here live now, and it was fucking People are saying Soweto at 46 is criminal. Is crazy. Char 707 saying the Ogmios, well, this is referring to Cammy, but Ogmios not in top 25 is diabolical. I mean, again, guys, this is so hard to do. Like, I hope you sort of, I know. Adam Clayton saying Tom's list is diabolical. Um, Let me just head out for 1 second.
Oh, I swear to God, like London Gen, I don't know if anyone's hearing me. These guys would give you such proper analysis. I don't know if everyone's seen the UK Battle of the Year stuff. They'd give you such a solid breakdown. And here I go flunking. Shout out to them, by the way. That stream in itself was a great time. I'm assuming I'm there. I see Tom. Yeah. I think he's probably gone off somewhere. I didn't hear him. But no, shout out to all of them. Shout out to all UK Battle Rap Media, Battle on the Roof podcast too. Back at it. I love them boys too. Salute to them. Yeah. It's difficult, man. I tell you, before a lot of people, I'm totally fine, people coming up. I think you guys know me well enough. I'm good to take a joke and get jabbed.
Yeah. No, Cam, we've got a lot of feedback from the live chat.
God.
So let's see what people have been saying.
I've just finished this bottle too, man. Fuck.
So we've got okay, so I think this is basically they're coming in where we said Lego. So Yuzdi saying there is a universe where this list makes sense, but I don't know where that universe is.
Nice.
And And Yuzdi, clearly a little bit delayed, is saying, I have just heard Mickey Worthless and Stardom in the same sentence. Stop it.
I mean, I think he's wrong personally for that.
Yeah.
Like, there is a Stardom. I tell you what, you go watch Ark and Mickey Worthless, and you'll see it in the first round. That's like the clearest example.
I think that's fair. And Up and Down is saying BRR's list is valid so far. I don't know quite what they're referring to. Okay, you're being called out here, Cammy, by Bootleg. And he's quoting you.
Ben, I might need to pull up to see Ben at some point. We're both Scottish. He's West Coast, East Coast. We might need to talk. I love Ben. What a guy.
Ben's saying, he's quoting you here. He's saying he should have been Don't Flop champion instead of Tony D. This is a reference to Youth Oracle. Yet you put him at number 37.
Not instead of, after. If I said instead of, I meant like, and he should have had that title match. He might not have won, but he needed that title match to me. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
Like in the list of people that Tony D battled, he probably wouldn't beat Tony D. But yeah, like if I said that, I didn't mean it specifically. But Ben's a fucking sniper. I love Ben.
No, I'm reading Ben.
You can't say anything wrong to him because he fucking he's got you. Some point.
You got, again, I'm not just reading out your comments here. I'm going to get to mine as well. But you did get a lot of backlash from your comparison of Chris Lees to Big K.
Now, okay, what was said about that? And I'm not meaning punch style.
No. Quicksilver says Chris Lees being compared to Big K is jokes. And Yuzdi says Chris Lees over Big K, I'm going to bed.
So when I say the Chris Lees thing, I'm meaning like the villain, the kick the floor, that shit ass. Like I don't like this.
Right. Yeah, the sort of the dog. Yeah.
The dog persona that he has. So I totally get that if I would say punch style and anything like that. No, totally not. But the whole fuck off. Pish.
Yeah.
Ooh, thumbs down. You're bad. This sucks.
Bootleg also caught me off guard, saying, I hope none of you say Bard, which we didn't. I mean,
no, we didn't.
Bard on the top 50 would be crazy.
But Bard is good
I
though. Like
love
no,
Bard. I love Bard, but
Bard.
not
He's
top
not
50.
like when I did this for me is I wrote down as much UK battle rappers that I knew, and then went to Verse Tracker afterwards.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Bard was on like the list. He didn't make it, but Bard, there was a level of credit needed for him. But yeah, he wasn't on the list. Like we can refute to that. But Bard, there's some names here that Bard would beat quite
yeah,
convincingly.
yeah, yeah. No, people are talking about the euphorical. This is when we're talking about euphorical,
Mm-hmm.
weird battle. Someone saying, I hope Double L gets a mention, which eventually he did.
He did. He did. He
Mention on
did.
there. Talking about Double L. So, oh, Bloodstro saying I had a trash list. um,
Again, Stroh was a name that I think Stroh's highlight moment, and I love Stroh. Stroh, what a guy! He as a battle rapper, he had the thing with Lunar Sea, like, and then it was like maybe one or two battles afterwards. Like, I'm maybe being a bit passive with him in his battle rap career. Coming back versus Danny Jack, just like Stroh's put in a lot of work in the league end and all these sort of things, especially with Premier Battles. I love Stroh, but it's so hard to. I was trying to fit him in when he has such a gap between battling.
yeah, I don't. I feel like Stroh's just saying that as a Premier
Yeah,
Battles guy rather than.
you'll
But
you'll
like
tell him it's
again,
trash next time I see
you're
him.
Stroh and anyone else, you're completely valid. Like, this is just
Hmm.
our list. This is literally just two random assholes lists. Like, so
Exactly.
let us know how you feel because we are
Yes.
not arbiters of the truth. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So what else? Shah is saying Bobby Rivers, Bizzo, Frankie, Koj, and Ogmios not in the top 25 is diabolical.
Now that's two different lists though, split in half.
No, it is to be fair. It is.
That's
But
two
if we're
different
just
split in half.
reflecting on
Now that makes
yourself, for
it sound way
example,
worse.
no, but I mean, like, so Koj and Ognios are your picks
Yeah.
there for not being 25, but they're still in the top 50.
They're still in the top 30.
Yeah, in
For
30.
me anyway, they're still in the top 30. And then for yourself, they're still, I think, top 40, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So we're not it's wild, really, isn't it? But again, we want to know how you feel about this list. Let us know in the
Mm-hmm.
comments. And we will be back tomorrow.
Oh,
Go
man.
for our top 25.
Fuck.
Um, but why don't we like wrap it up a little bit of general battle rap conversation, man? What's going on with UKBR? Are you going to members? Are you?
I will, like, I'm just making sure I got it all planned out, but I will be a ticket. I just need to get flight and accommodation sorted. Like, I will be going, and I'm looking forward to that. So, unfortunately, I can't be at all events all the time. Just want to go to Apex and whatnot. I don't know if I can, but like, there's so much going on in UK battle rap right now that I want all the people that are on that top 50. If a battle rapper is upset in that they're not in the top 50 to 25 and they're not active, come be active. Come back here. Come back here and do one battle. Just do one and show us where you're at. If you are deserving to be in that top 25, come and do it. We've got Dub T that might take one of you guys. Why not? See where you're at. RX Southside. Let's see how you deal with him. If you want to show me that you're higher on the list as a battle rapper that was in there, come back. That's what I'll say. Come back. Actually, I would love to see you back, and I'll support you. Just come see what's going on. The Man Bars event is crazy though. Like
Yeah,
realistically,
I mean,
the
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to share the
no,
card
no
here.
worry, man. Like
Uh,
like me personally, and I said this when I was with the Battle on the Roof Boys. I am personally most excited for Jerry West and Whispers. That is Battle of the Year contender written all over that to me.
I just, I'm so excited for this card,
Oh man,
and like, again, yeah, I'll be at the card, and like, obviously Cammy will be there, and
yeah,
again, I'm saying this as if like people are gonna care, but it's like, I just can't wait for it. I was very excited to just go to another Bricks and Jam event,
yeah.
but when I found out that Gem and T Top, which just got announced, was on it, I was like ecstatic. And
Uh-huh.
then I didn't really look at the card properly when I bought the ticket. I didn't realize Clips was hosting everything. Like, oh my
That's
God.
it. That's I love I love Yendi, like Yendi's running the league. I love him. Great guy. I hope that Clips is coming, but you know what I mean. It's a hosting
Yeah, I
gig.
mean, yeah. I'm hoping he
I'm not
comes, but
riding
like,
on Clips being there. I'm riding on
yeah,
Jerry. Pause. I'm riding on Jerry versus Whispers and T
crazy.
Top Gemini. But I'm riding on the battles. I'm going for them. I'm not coming for the hosting. Respectfully.
No, no, but again, anyone watching, if you're not aware, this is probably the next major event in the UK calendar. Is that right?
Between that and the Liverpool event.
Yes, sorry, excuse me. Saurus is battling Tony D, and Mute
Yeah,
is
finally,
battling
finally.
Brazza and Danny Jack and Kingsley. But yeah, so
Sean
that's
Prey and
happening
No
up
Pay.
north. Sorry, but in terms of sort of your southern events, yeah, this is going down. And again, don't flop. They said like maybe last year, early this year, there was going to be a Birmingham event. Obviously, I'm based in Birmingham for
Yeah,
April Fools, I think. So maybe that will happen.
yeah. You know what? I don't flop to fall back into not running events because last year was
Yeah,
a good year for them. Like at least at the end.
I hear you.
Oh, don't mind me.
No, no, no. You're right, though. You're right. It was
Like
like they ended with
just
a flourish.
yeah, ended with a flourish, and I want them to keep the momentum because it's for all these leagues. Members putting pressure on Premier Battles, Knowles Chat, and Don't Flop to organize good events and competition is healthy. Competition is
Indeed.
very healthy. Like right now, where it comes to who's doing the best events, like I'll say, shout out to Stroll. Stroll just keeps telling me, just keep an eye on the next, but keep an eye on the next card. These cards are going to go crazy. Like
That's
20, from what's been told to me, I don't know anything. Like because I never ask for anything, and no one ever tells me anything because I'm fucking loudmouth. But Premier Battles 2024 should be fucking mental. That's from what I know, because I know nothing else, but that it's going to be a good year for them. So they're anticipating big events, anticipating big battles, Sense Bobby Rex, all that. And
yeah.
don't flop with the tournament. Checkpoint fives coming, like and all the big things where with Lunar Sea coming back and like Sense Bobby, like
It's
our
huge. It's
team.
huge.
This is so healthy,
No, it
unbelievable.
is. It is.
The
And
Irish event, fucking
yeah, and it's like
Maverick
Cam.
Dunch, Tyrone, and Shuffle T.
No, no, Cammy, and yeah, all of those, and it's like on the humblest tip possible. I feel we're trying to contribute to that because we're just trying to get people to
Yes.
appreciate the history of that. And I know everyone is. So we're going to wrap it up in like 5 minutes. We've got a few
Yeah.
comments that I want to respond to. But I just want to say to the 30 people that are watching live right now, drop your top 10 in the comments. We want to see them. I'm very interested in them. So before we
And
do, so everyone in the comments, drop your top 10.
and
But
when the
yeah, go on,
list
Cam.
is done, when the live is done, continue that. If there's someone that's seen this now that's watching this
Yeah,
after
yeah, yeah.
on Twitter at Battle Rap Resume at Cammygbr, like just send us it. And years down the line, I would love to get someone's list
Yes,
and just
sir.
be, oh, how different is that now? 2 years down the line, just please, like, just continue the conversation afterwards because this is all this is.
That's it.
Tom's
Exactly. Exactly.
Tom's asked for an impossible challenge, and we've just tried to make the best of it that I could. Like, and Tom's done a great job himself about getting all these people in here that people somewhat forget that were fucking titans of the time. Just we are doing what we can because this isn't a 2-man job, but we're trying.
No, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And it's like, we both like sport, I think, on a certain level. I'm not like a giant sport fan, but I'm interested in sport. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
when I hear like your top 50 players of a certain era, I don't know everything about that era, but it's
Yeah,
just fun to read and to learn and to think, oh no, why haven't you included X or Y? So, well, again, we're asking you in the comments your top 10. Drop them if you want, drop them if you don't. We've got 30 watching right now. But Cammy, just a few comments that came through as we've been chatting.
mm-hmm.
ScoMo in the chat. Scott Moore,
What a
shout out to
guy.
ScoMo, who's on an absolute tear right now.
Yeah.
He's referring to me here. He's referring to my list. Uh,
Let's go.
he's saying,
I know.
quote, Villain above Frankie, Scoop, and Crafty is egregious. Heinous, even. You don't want to be called heinous by ScoMo. That is not.
Yeah, man. God,
I
God,
love
yeah. You know,
ScoMo,
it
but
just the villain placement was kind of well for me felt crazy, but I think I'm living the list which seems, and I thought you would be more like that. You've more of a recollection of the Don't Flop era coming up to now, where I may be of the opposite of I'm very entrenched into now and know the other stuff. You know what I
yeah, but
mean?
it wasn't
Like
like
60-40 either way, maybe.
yeah, no, for sure. And I don't like, there's lots of people I could have put on my list that are just like, they're there for historical purposes, But like, I am a villain fan, and I am a
Yeah.
little heartbroken about what happened, but villain is me for there. So,
Oh yeah, totally.
Craig is the next comment. And he says, I swear, if Danny Jack is in the top 50, I'm quitting life.
You know what? Daniel likes to hear this at length. He was a name that I was considering because Danny was a game changer, and
He was, in some way, he was. In some way, he
he
was.
was a game changer. Like whether the greatest battle rapper at the time, and I'm again maybe thinking more the Don't Flop era that he was like again at the time like the Deep Throat Thug battle. I think is as a particular
Huge.
highlight. Like in there, what the fuck is that?
I didn't realize on a screen capture. So I saw on trending it was Rip Dave. I clicked on it. We're back to members. We're back to Funky D. It's all good.
Just fucking scared the shit out of me. All right. So as I said with Danny Jack, at least Danny just he definitely became a part of the scene. You know, like
Hugely,
he
hugely.
came into the scene and he just dipped his feet in the sand, got stuck in, and although maybe not the best, I think he beat Koji at the time, but just like he got better as time got on and he kept going pause, he kept working on it, he kept coming better by doing more, which we need. I think people get so worried, and I say this as a fan and someone that doesn't battle, and as yourself, like Tom, that being in battle rap and then okay, you have a shite performance it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just going to have shite performances. Nobody's like the fucking arsehole Maverick that just has great performances almost all the time. We can't all be
Yeah.
like that. We can't. So like it's just we can't like you need to get better and unfortunately it's all on camera, but the only way you'll get better is by doing it. And Danny Jack is a clear sign of that.
No, that's very, very well put. And yes, Balm is saying, can you give a spoiler if Jay Dillon's in the top 25? Now he's not in mine. I love Jay Dillon, but I'm guessing he's not in
He
yours
was a
either.
name that was on for you. I put him as a
Oh,
but you kind of see that you get the kind of names that I'm kind of
kind of
Jay
like
Dillon.
writers, basically, right? Is
They're
kind of
writers,
the
but kind of don't flop alumni.
the unsung,
The
like
unsung heroes. That's what I'll call it. The unsung heroes.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Definitely, like for me, I definitely think you had a few unsung heroes there.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up then because we've got Dub T, who is a new guy on the scene, very talented young kid.
Uh,
Saying, I reckon I'm top 10 at this rate. I love the attitude. And
yeah,
so
plucky. What a guy, plucky.
yeah, shout out to Dub T. Check out Dub T's battles. He's a very, very
Mm.
talented young entrepreneuring fellow. So Sean Cray is in the comments, and we'll close with this, Cammy.
Oh,
He has provided his top 10.
oh, let's go, Sean. That's why he's our guy. What a guy.
Yeah. So, and again, everyone in the comments, everyone listening live, everyone listening in the future, let me know
Oh
what you
yeah,
think of
yeah.
Sean's top 10.
Judgment.
Sean says number 10, Soul. Number
Okay.
nine, number nine, Gem.
Wait, number.
I
Okay.
know nine's a bit wild. Yeah. Number 8 is Marlowe. Number 7 is Osh. Number 6
Okay.
is Tony D. So we're
Okay.
getting to our top 5 now. 5 is Shuff.
Uh huh.
4 is
Okay.
and Shotty's 3, Luna's 2, Kruger's 1.
Wow.
That's
I
very different to my list, but yeah.
very different too, but I respect that
I
so
do.
much,
Oh yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
bro. Like I don't. I can't see myself on the Zoom here, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've caught my face when he said Soul 9.
Yeah, yeah, it
I'm
was
assuming my face was caught there. I
it's a
I
little disturbing, but
I
that's
was, but no, but that's like Sean Cray's journey in battle rap, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that he's not that he's a new fan. It's just that like battle rap has already happened before he's come into it, so he's had to find his own way, find the battles he's connected to, understand the scene.
no, actually, respectfully, in defense of Sean,
Oh,
Sean's like
yeah,
an
he went to
old,
the first event. I'm chatting shite because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he watched it
Sean,
and in depth. Oh,
Sean
you
knows
can't
it
do
better
that
than any
before.
of us. And again, it doesn't mean his opinion's more correct than ours, but it's just an opinion,
Absolutely.
like, in general. But yeah, Soul at 9. I mean, Cammy's Scottish, and you know what Tom of Battle Rap Resume's like. So we both love Soul. So we'll see where Soul places. But Cam,
Well, I remember the Barners that remember because remember the Dunblade. I'm that Scott making progressive movements like him and could like Murray
Murray
could have
did what Henman could.
and made Dunblade remember for tennis instead of shooting.
Oh my God, stop. I know. I
That was
I
so
I
good.
I in prep for this, I watched him and C Major again. And
Mm,
C Major's really good in that battle, but
making like
holy
Anakin with the hand is missing. Ah,
yeah, yeah, the ISIS bar and the fucking
two
backed
eyes,
into
you
more
can't use.
corners by teenage boys and Lara Croft. Like, oh my God. But we are going to talk about all those people tomorrow
Yeah.
because we will be back tomorrow at a slightly later time of 8 p.m.
Uh-huh.
But we will be back tomorrow doing our top 25. So very intrigued to see how this evens out and how people enjoy it. But
Yeah.
Cammy, this has been a treat. Anything finally to promote on your end or
Um,
Cammy
you
GBR,
know
right?
what? Yeah, obviously my channel, Cammygbr, man. Like it's an ongoing channel. It's doing its
Amazing.
thing, and I like appreciate all the people supporting. For me personally, I'm going to throw this out here, and I don't mean to make a somber note. On my most recent video or on my Twitter, like I've got my auntie's doing a marathon run for charity for
Oh yeah,
sepsis.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
Like, and if I might put up if this video once it's done, I might just throw it in the comments just to be at
Please
the link.
do. No, no, dude, we'll pin it. We'll pin it.
Yeah, if anyone can donate to that, like if you'll see in my most recent video, I do a whole speech about it. It's just something that's close to me. So do if you can. If not, totally fine. I'm only just throwing it out there because I think it would mean something. We were
Yeah,
already
yeah.
reached £1,000, and just
That's
the more the
amazing.
merrier, honestly. Which is nuts. It was there for a week,
Seriously.
and £1,000 is just it's blown my mind. So I'll put it in the comments. Like I said, Cammy GBR. Tom is just the goat. Like let's not like before we were all doing it, he was fucking doing it and having the interest, the conversations that we don't always have. Like and people that are listening to it, like people like listening to the difficult conversations, and I think that's why this got traction because this is difficult and someone had to give an answer somewhere. It's not right, but it's an answer.
It's not,
And you
yeah,
can,
exactly. Exactly. It's you know, you've got to be the change you want to see in the world, right? And I'm sure as battle rap fans, we would have fucking loved it if another platform did their top 50 and we could get angry about it. But we're
yes,
the first ones
absolutely.
who are fucking planting the flag in the sand and we are saying, here's our decision. Let me know what you think. Because there
Die
is
on
no
the
right,
hill.
there is no
Die on
wrong.
the hill we stand on.
Yeah, exactly. But appreciate everyone watching. We've had like consistently like 30, 40 people watching, which is kind of
Wow.
unheard of really for Battle Resume. We normally have two or three. So I appreciate everyone in the comments as well. GFHD, Anki Dam, Sean, Char,
Oh,
everyone.
let me just
Yeah, please.
Anki, please. I met him at the last event. Shout him out, Anki. I thank you, and between me and you, thank you, my guy. Just I know like Anki's in particular. My auntie says thank you too because she wanted me to tell you that appreciate you, and I'm just going to highlight you in particular.
No, it's exactly, man. Exactly. So shout out to everyone. We are going to be back tomorrow. So we're going to be back on
Tomorrow,
Wednesday, 20th of March. So
Tom's booked me for 2 nights. It's crazy. I can't remember the
been a
last person
long
that booked me for
time.
2 nights without a
Like,
fucking dinner on a date. That's great. Mental.
so again, you know our lists. You can scroll back through the video and you can see them. We'll put them out in a better form. But
Yeah.
Cammy, my guy, thank you again. We're going to cut off the recording now, but I appreciate you so much, my guy.
Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, we're not live streaming now, but thank you so much.